streaming now.
I'm very nervous in front of the camera. Look at me.
Oh yeah, super.
Okay. I think we're live now. Let me see. Yep.
We're live?
Yeah.
100%?
I'll tell you right now. Yep, we're live.
Awesome! We are live with Thomas J. Belleza. Oh my god.
Yes.
I didn't bring your... It's Belleza, Belleza. How do you say your last name?
Bellezza.
Belleza. I was like, I knew I was
Belleza.
saying that wrong. It sounds very similar to Belleza, doesn't it? B-E-L-L.
Well,
Z-A?
maybe in Spanish, but it's Italiano. You know, it's Sicilia.
It's just, yes.
It's
You know, my
Bellezza.
favorite movie now of all time since last year was, how did I forget? It was my favorite movie. The mobster movie, The Godfather. Bro, that just slipped my
Oh,
mind.
The Godfather. Never heard
Yes.
of it.
What? You're so yes. Get out of here, bro. You're Sicilian.
There we go.
Okay, but it's the only movie that I've seen that actually has a really good second and third movie. So, and it's like super long. They're like 3 hours each movie. So, yeah, ridiculously long. But it's like a documentary. Whatever. Point is, it's amazing. I love that movie. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Mary Truth Talks Live 25. We're going to be doing it with Mr. Tomas today. Everybody who hasn't followed me on Instagram, follow me, Mary_Truths, and on TikTok. Thomas, you're public, right?
Yeah, I'm everywhere.
Okay, sweet. Put your profile there. What is it? It's at Thomas.
It's just my name, Thomas J. Belleza. You can find me everywhere.
So perfect.
However, you just look up makearightleft.here.com. Like, don't worry about spelling anything. Just go to makearightleft.here.com. You'll find me. Do you have what it takes to make a right left here? Do you, punk?
So, I was like thinking, like this whole time, I was like, damn, I've known Thomas for like, how many years has it been already? Like
30?
I'm not even 30 yet, bro. I turned 30 this year. The big
Oh, that means we gotta
30.
stop talking to each other. I'm like Leonardo DiCaprio, except I drop girls at 30, not 25, because they're the tastiest between 25 and 30. He loses out. I'm not like that, though.
The 25 and 30, that's like what, prime, supposedly?
Well, for me, it's At my age, though, I'd rather take a nap, honestly.
Bro, how old are you? Stop fooling.
I'll be 47 in April.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
The goal
My
is to
body,
get there.
however, I feel is much older than I am.
Who?
My body, the vessel I
Well,
reside in.
who knows? Maybe you're an old soul.
I could be. I feel like I still owe rent or something, and like, I'm gonna get it.
Oh snap! I think we've been already talking since 2019. I think
Easily.
2018.
Yeah. It was during COVID. If
Yes. So thank you so much for enduring me all this time.
Hey, listen,
appreciate
I'm not gonna
you.
say it with a headache.
But I appreciate you. I really do. And every time you've been there for me, I appreciate you too. I just felt like I had to say that. So, and then now we're going to get into the nitty gritty because I'm being all mushy with Tomas. All right. So I already gave you like what we're going to talk about, but I always like to let everybody know. So check it out. House Democrats blocked from entering the Department of Education building. Trump tells Elon to look at Department of Education and the Pentagon. Senate reacting to Elon Musk in Treasury. Treasury Secretary says the Federal Reserve runs the system. What does that mean? USAID, the title covered up. USAID funding exposed.
I don't know. What does that mean?
What does that mean? Oh, we'll talk about it. RFK response on universal health care, fair trade and tariffs, and drag shows at the Kennedy Center of Arts. I thought that one was very, very interesting. So let's get to it. Bum, 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 bum. All right. Okie dokie, had a turkey.
All right.
See if I can remember how to do this because I'm terrible with technology.
But you got the YouTube up too? If you do, you got to put it on mute.
how does it connect? It's not connecting to here.
No, it's it. I could see your screen.
You can see it, but I can't see it. You can see the other screen,
Yeah, I see your screen.
but I can't see it. What the heck? Okay.
You gotta open up YouTube maybe. I don't know.
It is open though.
But what's happening is it's.
I'm so useless with all my glasses. Absolutely insane. There you go. I was like, why can't I see it? Okay, here you go. Perfect. I was like, I can't see anything without my glasses. I need to wear contacts. All right, so this is pretty much Democrats pretty much getting mad at this dude who says he's a federal worker, saying that they can't go in. So check it out.
At the door. We're coming in. Who are you?
You're not coming in.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Who are you? Who are you?
Who are you, sir?
Do you have business here?
I've sent the secretary, I've sent the assistant secretary a letter alerting her that we would be here today, and we've asked her for a meeting.
Yeah, I don't know that that's been accepted, so until that's
Wait a minute,
Who are you? And what do you do here?
what are you doing?
All right, and this has been going on for about, I don't know how long. Let me see where it gets to the part where they start getting actually really mad. I was like, this is crazy. This is happening.
To request a meeting, and a private security contractor is not allowing me to enter the building.
They allow billionaires to go into this building, but not the people's representatives. They allow billionaires and their cronies to go in, but not, there's a lack of transparency here. The members of Congress, the people's representatives are not allowed in. This is not transparent.
Locking our kids out.
Not only are they not letting us in, now they've called the Department of Homeland Security. We are members of Congress here to talk with the Department of Education.
All right, yeah. You get the point. You get the point. All right, so talk to me. What do you think about that?
I don't know. Why don't you tell me what's going on?
I mean, so supposedly they're looking at how to cut spending, or they're doing some type of investigation, but I don't know. I think it's crazy that they're literally blocking the building for people to go inside. Like, I'm just like, whoa, this is happening in real time. Like, this is going to go into like history books in the near future. Well, maybe 40, 50 years from now, 30 years from now. But it's crazy how we're like literally living through it, you know? But I don't know. It's kind of like wild, but at the same time, kind of like, I mean, that's what's happening. We have to see what the aftermath is going to be from that. But I don't know. I'm not really like super negative about it. I'm just kind of curious.
Happening?
What?
You said a few things. I just want to understand what we're discussing.
The education building, like how do you feel?
That's not what the video was about, though.
What do you mean?
The video was about the Democrats being locked out.
Yeah.
So, well, just so we're on the same page, are we discussing Democrats being locked out of the building, or are we discussing that the Department of Education is being closed down? Because they are two separate things.
Both.
That main video was more about the Democrats being
Both.
locked out.
Yeah. I'm more focused on the other one, as to what they're doing to the actual department itself. But I think the Democrats not being allowed in is kind of like, I guess, some type of symbolism. Whatever. I'm looking too deep into it probably, but I don't know. I just think it's wild altogether that the Democrats are not being allowed in, and at the same time, that's probably because they're trying to cut spending, and the Democrats wouldn't allow that to happen. Since Democrats aren't very for cut anything, they're more for spend as much as possible. But I want to know what your thoughts are on it.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So, why do you think there's an issue going on, or how do you approach this? Like, what are you seeing when you see this?
I think that there's drastic change or attempt for drastic change, and that department just happens to be one of those places where they want like radical change.
So you're less about what was happening in the video, and you're more about what they did before that moment happened. You want to have a discussion about cutting funding to the educational department, not necessarily Democrats being locked out illegally. You
I mean,
want to talk about
Why do you think they're being locked out, though?
well, why do I think they're being locked? I don't know. I cannot put myself in the place of another human being thousands of miles away from me, well, hundreds of miles. So that question's almost irresponsible of me to answer. I cannot. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, I can't tell you what you're thinking. It's impossible.
Okay, but just from
So
your
the reasons
observation,
behind
like,
it- well,
that's what I want to know. Your observation. Yeah, of course, you're not them. You're not going to really know,
What wasn't the show
We're
about?
just making
discovering
assumptions
truth, not
here.
perspective.
Wait, what'd you say?
Didn't you say the show is about truth, not perspective?
Yeah, but
So
in this
if I tell you what
instance,
my perspective of it is,
But the
I
truth.
am not necessarily approaching truth. I am trying to dissect it based on my limited resources of the experience.
Okay, that's fine. What is your limited resources based on what you've seen on the video? And just to be clear, it's not about the truth. It's about seeking the truth. And that's what the whole purpose of it is. We come to an agreement or we come to a type of compromise. And that's where we can find the actual truth, whatever that is. It's not about what we say on this video is truth. It's finding the truth. Okay, just to be clear about that. But yeah, what do you think based on that? Like, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not, I frankly don't care that they're being locked out, but you do. So I care about the actual Department of Education.
Wait,
itself.
back up. You're reading my mind somehow incorrectly. Why them being Democrats means I care?
Because you do care.
I would like to understand why you feel that way.
Okay.
And then prove to me how you believe that statement to be accurate.
So I think you care because your approach to other topics we've had in the past have been left approaches. So I'm going to assume that you care because those are Democrats who also believe left approaches. So
Interesting.
Yes, that's my perspective, of course. But
what is
your perspective?
Now, me telling me you are incorrect with how I represent myself, would you agree that that statement is true, or do you still believe you are right and I am what you think I am?
I want you to explain what you are,
I don't. That's the thing. I don't feel it is necessary to explain what I am because that creates a bias. Because you already have a bias, a bipartisan approach to Democrats as per your words. You don't care what happens to the Democrats. That was a statement, right? So that's a bipartisan comment.
It's not that I care what it doesn't happen to them. What I don't care is the fact that they're being locked out. To me, that's not what I care about. What my focus is on the symbolism of that is the Department of Education.
I'm not going to tell you what my position is personally, because it creates a bias and doesn't allow the topic to be discussed.
Okay.
So if you want to talk about why red might be more popular than blue, you don't need to know if I like red or not. However, if my personal opinion on red does interject into the discussion, then it becomes a bipartisan presentation. Therefore, we are no longer discussing the topic. We are discussing my stance, which has nothing to do with the truth or seeking the truth, because if I have a bipartisan stance, then I am seeking my truth, not the truth.
Okay. What is your stance on the Department of Education?
I already told you about. Well, I'll
and
say
why
it this
it's
way.
being cut. Or why do you what do you
First of
think
all,
about that topic? That is what I want to
But all
know.
I'm saying, you're saying I'm a Democrat and I'm a liberal and I lean left, and therefore I might.
I mean, you
care
haven't
about
really,
what's going on with
you
Democrats.
haven't gone against that either. You've just kind of been like, I don't have to explain myself to you, and it's like, okay, fine, don't explain yourself to me,
I actually
but get to the
answered the
point. Like,
question.
what do you think about the Department of Education? Like, what do you think about it? Your perspective
so
is
you're
different from
saying-
mine. So what do you
You're
think?
saying, what is my thoughts on that situation?
Yes.
Well, the Department of Education should not have been completely dismantled in one stroke. It should have been done in sections or levels and layers and spiral into a correction. Dismantling something that is part of a larger system causes an implode, and therefore it disrupts the surrounding elements of the system itself. It's sort of like saying, you know, we want to get rid of the third floor in the building, but let's just thrash out the bottom level, let the building fall down, and then rebuild it around the third level because we like the third. Like, it doesn't make any sense to do a clean sweep. It should have been done in stages.
Like reforms.
Well, reforms, maybe adjustments, you know, but also, you know, locking out anyone of the government, of the branches, because they are elected officials that are there to basically step in and, you know, check out what's going on. So for them to be locked out of the building, that is technically, I'm not saying he is authoritarian, but the move is authoritarian-esque because it is restricting the government and the people in position within the government for oversight to be restricted in actually testing the waters. So they can't see what's going on. They were forbidden to go in. Whether it's right or wrong, or whether I'm a Democrat or whatever you think I am, technically that was a little iffy.
Okay. Thank you. Jesus.
Yeah, but I just want people to make sure it doesn't matter. I'm not a Democrat and I'm not a liberal and I'm not left leaning. So for you to say that, I just wanted to clarify that because you did place a bias on me by suggesting there's a potential that I am. That's like me saying, well, you're a communist. And then you're like, no, I'm not. No. You said one thing 10 years ago about how you shouldn't wipe your ass more than 10 times. So you are a communist. But what are your thoughts on how the government has been treating us as a communist? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter what my position is. And B, to suggest...
It does matter what your position is.
No, it
doesn't.
Of
course it matters.
For example, if I said, hypothetically speaking, I'm a Mormon. I am not a Mormon. I don't want you to think, just because those words came out of my mouth does not mean that I am now a Mormon. But as a hypothetical example, if I told you I was a Mormon and I live my life based as a Mormon, that creates a bias, not only from you, but anyone who's listening. But it also creates my position, which means that I'm going to approach certain sensitive situations as a Mormon. However, in this discussion, it's best that I don't.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I'm saying?
I should have started earlier.
I'm saying there's, you know, when you debate or discuss subjects,
man.
you're supposed to, when you're not supposed to necessarily come from a stance.
Well, we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue on these topics of, you know, and then we'll continue to go back to the whole leftist mindset. We'll do a what do they call that? The weave. We'll do the weave. We'll do
That's not what the weave is.
We'll do the weave. All right. So okay, I agree with you that the Department of Education should have been, I mean, I don't know if it's been completely like unused, you know. We don't, like, I have that clip and I know they're working on doing some changes, but I don't think it's like totally shut down. You can, you know, come fact check that really quick. Is the Department of Education like shut down, or, you know? I want to know, because I know that there's going to be changes now. What changes is there going to be?
They are taking signs down from federal buildings already.
Yeah, we're going to get to that too. You're like ahead of me right now. Like, I'm going to need you to... No, I'm kidding. I'm just messing with you. All right, well, while you're doing that, I'm actually... I'm trying to find my live right now.
Can you see the chat? Can you see what people are saying in the chat?
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Is get
That's not. He's like, just say you're a centrist, bro. But I'm not. First of all, I'm not a centrist, and second of all,
he doesn't want to label himself, guys. He doesn't want to label himself. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
The Department of Education has not been officially shut down.
There you
and continues
go.
to operate. However, there are ongoing efforts by the Trump administration to dismantle the department. Former Education Security Betsy DeVos of VOS has advocated for its closure, suggesting that its functions be transferred to state and local governments. The administration is considering using executive authority to achieve this goal. So they're trying to shut it down completely to do the reform. But I don't agree with that. I think they should do it in... But they just want to dismantle it and just put it to the states. Well, you know, it's going to take a lot of law adjustments and votes. But if it just gets closed down, then that supersedes and becomes the authoritative esque position. So if it doesn't go through government for laws to be passed, and it just becomes change by one individual, then authoritarian that is.
I don't think.
That's okay. You don't have to agree with it.
No. I understand where you're coming from, but I only think that it seems authoritarian because it's drastic.
No, that is not what I said.
No, I'm telling you what I think. You know, I'm giving you my perspective from what you're saying.
You're talking about something different. We are not talking about the same thing now. You have changed the subject.
How? You just said that the fact that they're not going into stages and they're just like going like they're just ripping the Band-Aid off automatically.
No. What I said was that they are not going through the stages of law. They are just shutting it down. They're trying to just shut it down. That is authoritarian-esque because they are bypassing government. They are bypassing. I mean,
but what if the whole point of doing it is to take it up to the Supreme Court, and then the Supreme Court decides, okay, do we really need a Department of Education?
If they go to the Supreme Court, then that would not be authoritarian. But what I'm saying is, if you use, as per what I just read, the executive order, which bypasses the law-making system, House and Senate, within the system, then that becomes a authoritarian choice.
Unless
if I, the leader, and I go, I want this to happen, and then if you don't do it, there's going to be issues, and I'm going to push back against the agencies. That is not working within the system of the government that we have established in the American states, right? So that becomes authoritarian-esque. I'm not saying he is an authoritarian.
I get that, yes.
But that is authoritarian, as in you
yes,
need
the approach
to go through
itself.
You have to go through the system.
I get that. I'm saying that the reason why I think that a lot of people are on your camp of view on that, and I'm telling you the reason why it's because you're ripping the Band-Aid off. It's an extremely drastic change, and B, it's not going into the law process that you're talking about too. But
that's not why it's authoritarian.
It's authoritarian because it's not going through the law process. That's what you just said.
Yes, but you're saying, well, they're nervous and they think it's authoritarian because he's ripping the Band-Aid off. But you're changing the vernacular necessary to suggest any rationale to the situation.
I wouldn't say nervous.
You're making a metaphor of to simplify it as in like, well, we need to rip the Band-Aid off and just start from scratch. But you're taking away the violence of authoritarianism. All right, so that's like me going, I don't know why he's worrying. All you got to do is shoot him in the head. You know, it's not that big of a deal to kill him or murder somebody. You just write one in the head. It's not even really murder.
But you're not murdering somebody, right? I mean, you're murdering the bureaucracy, but you're not murdering anybody. I mean, you know.
If he wants to change the educational system, then he must go through the process of law.
Okay, but what if he does? What if? This is all hypothetical here. What if you rip the Band-Aid off, and then afterwards you get Congress to actually pass a bill, to actually get it, to then actually sign it, to then actually make it into law?
That leads into communism and authoritarian, because you're taking away government. I will tell you. Okay, you're taking away government process that goes through law-making systems. There are 3 legislative branches, right?
Sorry, I'm listening to my partner at the same time. Lower it. Okay, go. Continue.
Listen, if you're saying just rip the Band-Aid off, you're taking, and then afterwards we'll try to get the law passed. That is falling into authoritarianism, right? So the problem is you need to allow the laws to be passed to make moves. Otherwise, it is no longer our government. It's no longer a democracy. So if that's what you would like and you would want to justify it, that is fine. That is a position you can take. but to simplify it to be like, yeah, well, we'll just rip the Band-Aid off and then we'll worry about the laws afterwards. Because what if the laws don't get passed afterwards? What do? Now we've already lived through not having it there because the Band-Aid was ripped off. So do we reestablish it, or
So
do
you're
it's
saying
already ripped off? We might as well keep it off.
So you're saying that because he's doing an executive order, he's authoritarian. Like there's plenty of other presidents that are doing executive orders. So you're saying that every president who does an executive order is authoritarian.
That's illogical.
That's what you just said.
That is not what I said.
Okay, please explain
Well,
what you just said.
You're saying if I love red, then I dislike all colors. That's the analogy, right? So you're saying I said that doing an executive order, which I didn't say, by the way, you're saying this. You're saying I said if he does an executive order, then it is authoritarian-esque. That is not what I necessarily said. I just read the thing afterwards. What I said was authoritarian-esque was shutting down something without going through the law system. He has yet to shut it down, as per the article, because it has to go through the law system. He can do an executive order. However, it's going to be fought in the courts, which makes it still democratic. But his decision, it's not the executive order that has anything to do with it. It's his desire to bypass the law and have it done his way that makes it authoritarian-esque. That's what I said. I didn't say doing an executive order equals authoritarian. That's an illogical leap that you made, which is fine, but that is not what I said.
Okay. I'm going to go back to what I was saying before.
All right, go ahead.
There have been plenty of other presidents in the past that have been forceful. So why is it that we don't call those presidents authoritarian-esque, but yet we do with this guy? Or have we always been calling...
About a group of people or me?
Talking about, I mean, you're not the only one who's saying that. There's plenty of people saying the same thing you're saying. Except they're not using authoritarian-esque, they're using authoritarian.
Yeah, but I don't think he's an authoritarian because he's being stopped by the government.
Okay, but there's been other presidents that have done authoritarian things that were not stopped by the government. FDR.
What did FDR do that's authoritarian?
He did martial law against Japanese citizens and Germans, and the Supreme Court allowed it.
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
FDR.
Yeah, no, the end of that.
Supreme Court allowed it.
Yeah, so that's government
for national security.
Yes, that is not authoritarian.
But it was an executive order that then was went to okay. But the same thing can happen here, so we can still say then.
You can't, Mary.
Okay, cool.
Putting words into
I'm just making sure here that there's other presidents in the past, going back into history, that have done authoritarian-esque things.
That example is not.
Okay, how is that not authoritarian-esque? What he did, putting people in internment camps that were American citizens, so you stripped their rights altogether because of espionage. How is that not authoritarian-esque?
So the Patriot Act is designed today in our time to basically represent that if somebody is a terrorist, they lose their rights, which is a right to an attorney, a right to, freedom, the Fifth Amendment, freedom, right, to be silent. Back then, what happened was he did not say this must happen, and it happened. He said this is what we want to do, and then it went through the system of law to the highest court in the government, and then they passed the law. He did not pass that law. Authoritarianism is when somebody says, I want cows to wear hats, and they must. And then there's no and if or buts. It doesn't go to the courts. It doesn't do anything. And that becomes an actual authoritarian. However, if somebody wants something to be done and bypass the law, that's where it becomes authoritarianism. It's not that I'm saying you are incorrect to say that FDR did an authoritarianism-esque thing because it went through the legal system. if he's trying to bypass the legal system,
Removing rights is, I don't care how legal they made it seem, it was
we're
wrong.
talking about two different things, Mary.
He removed rights from Americans. That it doesn't matter if it went through the Supreme Court and it was authoritarianist, because why would you do that? Like, how can you just completely erase somebody's freaking rights because you think that perhaps they might be spies? That's something that can be accepted in any other country. You can accept it in any other country in the world, not here in the United States. And he made that like a normal thing.
Hold on over there.
Can you see me?
No, something's wrong. I feel like I'm talking to, like you're talking to someone and then I'm also talking to someone.
Oh, I knew he was good. I knew it was a skit. I'm like, why do I feel like this guy is... All right. Okay, fine. So you don't think it was authoritarian-esque for FDR to do what he did, but you think it is for Donald Trump. Got it.
Wait.
Got it.
You misquoted.
That
me.
is what you said, but okay. I just literally just summarized you.
That's fine. If that's how you want to play it, that's fine. But you misquoted me.
Okay. I mean, people are gonna... They can hear us.
You said I think, which is not the correct word.
Okay, what is the correct word? I still have lotion on.
It is not authoritarianism-esque because it went through the law of government.
Okay, fine. You think
that
it
has
is
nothing to
not
do with me.
authoritarian-esque.
But that has
and
nothing
then...
to do with me thinking that or not. That is the truth.
Okay.
If it goes through law, then it is the process of law, whether you agree with the results or not, right? Like, if we were talking about a humanist, a personal level, I disagree with locking people up, right? Unless, of course, they're a threat. But if we went back and looked, we would see that Japanese Americans were not a threat. It was a misstep on the United States of the Americas, right? However, that is not what we're discussing. You were bringing up a said subject incorrectly. It used the rule of law to get to that position. No one said, I want this done, let's just make it happen.
Dude, slavery used to be legal, okay? Like, you're pretty much saying because they made it legal, what you're saying is because they made it legal, it is okay. It's okay for them to have done that because it went through the legal process. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
Authoritarianism.
Like, that's literally what you're saying.
Authoritarianism.
Okay. It does, but okay.
Changing things. You know, bananas are actually man-made. I don't know if you know that. They were
Yes, I've heard.
manufactured into becoming something different than what they originally were. Bananas were actually very small. I don't know if you know that.
Yes, I do.
Oh, I just figured I'd just make up random shit that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No, might as well. I mean, might as well. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're gonna do this this weave thing. You think I'm playing?
You're using the word weave incorrectly.
Whatever. You know what I'm talking about, bro. But I don't know what you know what I'm talking about. I go super New York. I need the mouse.
Cycle back. You want to cycle back.
Oh, we're having an issue with
That's what you're saying. You want to cycle back eventually.
He's echoey? You're echoey.
Yeah, because I got a little loud.
No, but
It's good though.
he's good? Okay. Can I? All right, cool. I was like, I need my mouse, bro. Okay. So, let me tell you what the next... Hold on. I always have problems here. This is where I struggle. Okay. So, the next one's going to be... Trump tells Elon to look at Department of Education. We just spoke about that.
Tell him he can be as loud as he wants.
And the Pentagon. And last says you can be as loud as you want.
Lies.
Europe.
I'm trying to fix my mic for you guys.
No, you're good now.
No,
it was
you're
us.
good.
It was something on our end.
Oh, is you guys? All right.
Yeah, not you.
It was our fault, Tomas. Our fault. All right.
The mic was picking up on the speaker.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
What you make of the criticism from Democrats that these staff reductions, the cuts that Elon Musk and Doge are doing are an unlawful power grab? And is there anything you've told Elon Musk he cannot touch?
Well, we haven't discussed that much. I'll tell him to go here, go there. He does it. He's got a very capable
another video?
group of people. Very, very capable. They know what they're doing. They'll ask questions and they'll see immediately as somebody gets tongue-tied that
Trump says Elon
they're either
Musk's
crooked or don't know
Doge
what they're
team doing a
doing.
great job.
We have very smart people
Slashing
going in. So
Pentagon price.
I've instructed him go into education,
yes.
go into military, go into other things as we go
Thomas, you
along.
can't just
And
listen.
they're finding massive amounts of fraud, abuse, waste, all of these things.
Very
So,
well, indeed. I'm
but
the best
I
at what
will
it's
pick out
holding public. Some
a
even say
target,
this is
and
the
I say
only
go
way
in.
to hold
Jesus
There could be
Christ,
areas
Thomas.
that we won't, but
your
I
weight
think
from falling
everything's
over
fertile. You know, we're a
due to
government. We have to
being
be
large.
open.
Anyway,
And as an
Doge,
open
excellent,
government, I
the
don't know, I
best.
guess you could say maybe some high intelligence or something.
Okay, thank you
And
so
I'll do
much. I
that myself
appreciate
if I have
it. The
to.
discouraging,
But generally speaking, I'll just say,
I can't hear
No,
us
but he will be
talking, so I was just doing it for myself.
Are you being serious? You can't hear what he's saying?
Well, I have it on mute.
Oh. Bro, we can hear you though. Shut up. Hold on.
looking at education pretty quickly, and he will be looking at
We really
military.
have to listen to it. No one cares.
The bulk of
Just
federal
talk about the
spending is
topic.
Social Security, Medicare,
Well,
programs like
it's to
that. Would
get
you
the
like to see him look at those
reaction, bro.
programs as well?
Well, they don't really have to be looked at by him. They can be looked at by us. Social Security will not be touched. It'll only be strengthened. We have illegal immigrants on Social Security, and
All right. I doubt that, but okay. I thought we got illegal immigrants and Social Security, Donald Trump. But it's okay.
It's still going.
It's like, I doubt that. All right, guys. All right. So I finally got my live to work because I couldn't see the comments before. It was terrible. Well, technically, yeah, he's a very technical guy, guys. You gotta love him. He's extremely
I know.
technical. It's the best. I personally love it because he dissects everything. It's like a little machine, with words. I love it. He's also
I got
an author, by the
autism
way.
and a high IQ, so the thing is, if you said to me, "Look, we're just gonna have fun and we're not gonna use facts or
Excuse
logic,"
me, we are having fun.
no, I'm saying if you said we're just gonna have fun, don't worry about facts or logic, like I wouldn't even bring up, I wouldn't correct anything, or I wouldn't, like if you make a statement on me, I would play
man.
off of it comedically, but when you make a statement on like what you believe I am or what you believe I said, because we're having a debate, I have to adjust it.
I'm basing my perspective of you with what you've said to me in the past. That's what
Which
I've
means
done.
that it
Which is what
didn't
all people do,
No, well, it means you have cognitive dissonance.
No, it doesn't. It means that I observe what people do, and then
That
from
is
that, I'm
literally
like, okay,
cognitive dissonance.
that's what
what you just did. What you just did was cognitive dissonance. You just did it when you said, "No, I don't."
But I don't. I'm telling you, I don't.
And you just did it again.
How did I? Do you even know?
Do you know what cognitive
Yes, I
dissonance
do.
is?
So look it
What
up,
is it?
please. Look it up.
No, I'm not gonna look it up. You just said you know what it is.
It's pretty much
I'm
when
telling you
it's,
have it.
it's
You're
people
saying
that are
no.
programmed. So you're pretty much saying
Incorrect.
that because I
That is
literally have
That is
a
incorrect.
different opinion of you
That
than
is
yourself.
incorrect.
I'm telling you my
That is
perspective
incorrect.
of you. You're like, she believes
That's
this
incorrect.
because she doesn't have any logic, which is like, okay, that's kind of offensive, but whatever. If you want to go there, that's fine. We can go there. I'm just giving my perspective of you, which is
not
what other
about
people should do,
perspective.
You've literally said no borders.
Right,
Like,
I
come
know
on,
how to
come on.
go forward in this conversation. You just
I'm telling you, we're
completely
gonna
made
do
up cognitive dissonance, so I know exactly how to move
Bro,
forward. I got this.
Google
Let's do it. Next
freaking-
topic.
Google it. Google cognitive dissonance.
Google it. I know what cognitive dissonance is.
I know. Listen, give me the freaking definition.
I'm not going to give it to you because not only did you say you know what it is, but then you defined it incorrectly.
I don't remember the freaking definition by like exact
definition
wording.
that
Who
you
does
gave
that?
it-
But I know the concept
definition
of
had-
it. All right, look, I
Harry,
found it because you
Harry,
didn't want to look it up.
Harry,
The
uno
mental.
momento, por favore.
Hold
Uno
on, let me
momento.
read it to you.
Che fa? State zitta. Right? Listen. The definition you gave based on what you feel it was incorrect.
It's
and when
not what
said
I
it
feel.
was
It's
wrong,
just a summary. I don't remember the definition by word. Who remembers
give a
definitions by
summary.
words?
It was wrong.
Oh my God. Okay, can I read it, please? Thank you. The mental action or process of occurring knowledge and understanding through thought, experience, and senses.
What did you look up? What did you look up?
I'm sorry. That's cognition. My bad.
Oh my God.
I can't see. I cannot see. Listen, bro, when I don't have my
Like,
glasses,
this has nothing
it's
to do
a
with
struggle.
cognitive dissonance.
I'm sorry.
Let's
I'm
just
so
go- let's
sorry.
move on to the next topic, please. Let's just move to the next topic. Come on.
No, I wanted to read this to you.
Don't worry about it. Let's just move. You were right. I'll just say you're right. It'll be easier.
You're such an ass.
Moving forward, I know exactly how to.
No, I'm gonna read it. Cognitive
Go ahead,
dissonance
try it.
is a discomfort of a person's feels of a person feels when
Wrong.
their behavior does not align with their values or beliefs. Can I read that again?
Oh, yeah. So it's the discomfort a person feels when their behavior does not align with their values or beliefs or their position. So it's also actions and conflicts to beliefs or actions. So if you believe something, hold on before you talk. Because you not only did not know what the word meant, you looked up the wrong word.
I can't see, bro. It's hard. Okay, it's hard.
Hold on.
Little
Hold
words
on.
are small.
So when I said you believe something based on your perception of it, and I told you your belief of me was wrong, that is cognitive dissonance. Then you became uncomfortable because what I said contradicted what you believed to be true. And that becomes cognitive dissonance. Then when you said, no, I am not, I don't have cognitive dissonance, that becomes again a moment of feeling uncomfortable because I have challenged and created a conflict to your belief. And therefore you became cognitive dissonance again. So it's whenever you say something that you believe is true, and I tell you it is wrong. For example, if you tell me my favorite color is purple, and I say that is untrue, and you go, no, I know exactly who you are. I know, because one time you wore purple socks. So that becomes cognitive dissonance because you are displaced from what is true, and you are defending technically your emotional reaction.
I know
to
what
it.
is true.
But you're wrong when you say I'm a liberal, and then you say, but I know you from what you said. But I can have a liberal view and not be a liberal.
If you want me to then say that you're not a liberal, then I will
No,
I will
don't
make
care
a
what you
deal with
call
you.
me.
You're not a liberal. You have liberal points of views, liberal approaches.
Yeah, but so do you.
I'm being, we're negotiating here.
We're negotiating, but everybody has a nuanced approach to their perspectives and their positions and things. Like you probably don't agree with murdering people, right? But you would absolutely kill someone if they broke into your house. So you aren't someone who's against murder. You're against just killing someone unless it has to do with defense, which is a nuanced position on killing somebody.
Yes.
So if I said to you, oh, you said once you would never kill somebody, so why did you kill the person that jumped into your house? Well, the nuance is that it has an adjusting position. It moves. There's a value change. So if I say A equals B, because that's my position, then you go, oh, that means because you believe that, you are, without a doubt, absolutely this thing. And that's not how it works. All people have a nuanced approach to their positions.
Okay.
Unless it's bipartisan, which I personally do not believe you know what bipartisan means. But that's okay because that is just I'm making a position and a claim, and I'm not necessarily saying it's true. I'm just making a claim.
You know what? I'm not going to respond to you assuming that I don't know what bipartisan means because I'm going to move on to the next thing.
Yeah, because you can't. You got to look it up, and then you
No,
might
it's
spell
just
the wrong word.
I'm going to move on to the next one. So, Senate reacting to Elon Musk in Treasury. So, check this out, please. This time, just.
Yeah. I got it. I know how to do this from now on.
All right. Check this out.
I have to just tell you, as somebody that was chair of the Intelligence Committee and now vice chair and take that role incredibly important, the notion that somebody maybe arbitrarily put out these payment flows for something that looks kind of funky, but they don't have any idea what it is.
You're talking about
will hurt our national security. Because
talking about Doge and
this is not classified.
Treasury.
We fund things sometimes under a cover. We put out this information and the bad guys find out about this, people's lives are at risk. And I implore you all as experts, I implore my colleagues, this should not be a partisan issue. Let's get to the bottom of who these people are, what kind of clearances they have, and make sure that we don't put in further jeopardy the risk and reputation of the United States government, which I believe is under immediate and imminent attack from these unsanctioned individuals. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Hold on. Because I don't know if you guys can see that.
You cannot see this. It's not on the screen.
Oh, it would have been nice for you to tell me that, Thomas.
I said it.
No, you didn't.
It's not on the screen.
It's here, remember?
Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing.
In fact, I feel that your partner heard me say it and then looked at it and said there's nothing on the screen.
I did not hear you. I heard him.
No, just see it.
Oh, he sees it there. I don't know why my live is super delayed. That's I would have noticed. All right. Okay. Well, you couldn't hear it at all?
The audio. We heard the entire audio. So to listen to fucking 9 minutes again, you know.
Remember, you need to do the same thing again to show him back on the screen, to switch.
Okay.
I just did.
Okay.
Do you remember how to do it?
I'm going to go through with it.
Look up cognitive dissonance.
He was right about that, by the way.
Oh, God.
Cognition. Look up cognition.
What?
Do you need your glasses?
No. I mean, I'm already used to being blind. Might as well just stick through it.
Well, you need to look closer to the screen. Do it.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to be a Thomas, man. Yeah, except he was just acting. I'm literally like cannot see, but it's okay. It's all right.
Thank you, Mr. Warner. Before I go to Senator Kennedy, I do want to respond to your comment there, Mark. The Treasury just put this out. Importantly, the ongoing review of Treasury systems is not resulting in the suspension or rejection of any payment instructions submitted to Treasury by other federal agencies across the government. In particular, the review at the Fiscal Services does not cause payments for obligations such as Social Security and Medicare to be delayed or rerouted. To be clear, the agency's responsibility is for making the payments, always drives the payment process. Currently, Treasury staff members working with Tom Krause, a Treasury employee, will have read-only access. Just to
Mr. Chairman,
help some of
do you know, Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to ask.
Sure.
So you are saying that it is read-only and not read and write?
That's what Treasury just.
And do you know the identity of these individuals? Mr. Krause is a known quantity, and he's got security clearance. Yeah. The other individuals who've been reported in the press, do they have security clearance, sir?
I'll just say this. And
do you want that individual without security clearance to have access to all that information?
Yeah. I was clarifying a comment you made, number one. Number two, I would simply say that under the Biden administration, we had no clue who was doing what most of the time. Mr. Kennedy.
God. Yeah, we did not know who was doing what most of the time. Yep. I agree with that statement. God, I always have such an issue with this, man. All right. Everybody can see me? Cool. All right. So the reason why I put that is because I want you guys to now see this. Treasury Secretary says Federal Reserve runs the system. So I know, Thomas, bear with me here. You will get your, I want to hear what you have to say. It's a two-step thing. Because I'm very curious, very, very curious to what Mr. Thomas has to say. All right, check it out.
Secretary Scott Bessent in Washington. Mr. Secretary, thank you for joining me.
So good to see you.
Mr. Secretary, we are inside the cash room at the Treasury Department. It is almost impossible to overstate how important the work that is done in this building is to the U.S. financial system. Yet right now, there is widespread concern about the DOJ team's access to sensitive payment systems. Are you worried at all that that access and that tinkering of the payment systems could affect the Treasuries market or cause any disruption?
Good. Well, Saleha, thank you for asking me about that because there's a lot of misinformation out there. First of all, when you say the DOJ team, these are Treasury employees. It is 2 Treasury employees, one of whom I personally interviewed in his final round. There is no tinkering with the system. They are on read-only. They are looking. They can make no changes. It is an operational program to suggest improvement. So we make 1.3 billion payments a year. And this is 2 employees who are working with a group of long-standing employees.
The letter that the Treasury Department sent earlier this week talked about how the team currently does not have access to change the system. Have they at any point this year had the ability to make changes?
Absolutely not. This is no different than you would have at a private company. And by the way, the ability to change the system sits over at the Federal Reserve. So it doesn't even lie in this building. So they could make suggestions on how to change the system, but we don't even run the system.
And if they ask for, if they request the ability to change the system, would you grant that?
No, again, they have no ability to change the system. I have no ability to grant that change. That they could make suggestions, then it would go to the Federal Reserve, and just like any large ERP system, there would be tests, there would be this, there would be that, and then the Fed will determine whether these changes are robust or not.
All right, the feds will, isn't that interesting? Okay, hold on. Let me get you back here. All right. Talk to me.
Before we get into it, I just want you to know, I gave you a potential out with the bipartisan comment.
A potential out?
Well, yeah, because I said you're bipartisan. You said, no, you're not. Right?
No,
Because
you said that I did not know what that meant, and I just...
Well, I said you're bipartisan. You
I just
said no.
aired you out. I was like, okay.
I said you don't know what it is.
Okay, well, I mean...
But you do know that you're technically partisan, right? Like, I'm bipartisan, you're partisan.
I can say that I'm bipartisan on some issues and partisan on others.
Okay.
That's
all right.
what I can
That's
say.
a safe answer. That's a safe answer. I kind of like that color, but I don't like that color.
That's my Libra rising. Just, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to have both. Because I feel
what are
better.
We doing? What's going on now?
All right, so, so they're pretty much saying that that Elon Musk is not doing what people think he's doing. Like that video was actually from Bloomberg. Who was that video from? I think it was Bloomberg. Talking about how supposedly Elon Musk is tinkering with the system, and then this guy is like, no, he's not, but we're just letting him like look at things. And then I just thought it was interesting that they said the Federal Reserve is what ultimately like actually makes the change. And then I was like, wow, I don't know.
What change are you talking about?
I mean, any change, I guess.
Any change to what?
To any cuts, to anything.
What kind of cuts?
I don't know. Department cuts or spending cuts.
For the Federal Reserve.
That's what the guy just said.
Okay.
Tell me, what do you think?
Sure.
Like, what does that even mean?
If that's what you believe, then
no,
yeah,
that's not what I mean. I don't know. I'm asking. I'm just going by what he's saying.
Reserve works?
So like, I know it's an independent entity, even though it was made by the government itself, but it's separate from the government.
Why do you think it was made by the government?
I mean, because
it says federal.
I don't know why it's called Federal Reserve. I just know that it was made by the government, and then it's an independent entity.
All right, that's my question
They're the
to
ones
you.
who control
how was
rates
it made
and
by
all
the
that
government?
stuff. Wait, what'd you say?
That's my question to you, because you're making a statement or a claim. So I'd like to, because I'm not very intelligent. Like, I don't understand things. So
What do you mean? What am I making? I'm telling you.
so
what
what
he
you're saying
just
is
said.
how was it created by the federal government? I just want to know.
Because they approved it.
Who did?
The president at the time.
Who?
Woodrow Wilson?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Yeah, go ahead. Look it up.
'Cause I don't remember. I actually have this. Hold on. I got you. I actually have this here. If I can go look for it, that'd be fabulous. I actually have a chart, bro. I have a freaking chart. But, I don't remember right now. I think it was Woodrow Wilson. Or was it? Can you look it up? I'm pretty slow at looking things up. You're faster
I don't have
than
to
I
look
am.
it up. I already know it was Woodrow Wilson.
Okay, what? Why can't you
1913.
just? You're so.
Because I just want to
you're
make
so
sure when
upsetting.
you're saying
You're
stuff,
so upsetting
you
to
can
me.
back it up with
upsets
knowledge.
me. How about you just like if you tell me yes or no or let's look it up? Like fuck instead of fucking giving me so much mystery.
Because it's important to challenge ideas, right?
Got it.
'Cause
I love you.
it's a-
Gotta love you. I really do. All right. So, Woodrow Wilson decided to do that But it's still okay. That's government who created.
No, it's not
this.
government. It's separate from government.
Okay, but Woodrow Wilson was part of the government. He was the president at the time.
But again, one thing does not mean the other. If
Yes,
I
but
say
you're-
I
you're
drink
saying-
water, that
what you're
doesn't mean I
saying
don't
is-
drink other things.
What you're saying is obesity does not cause cardiac vascular disease. like there's
No,
no
that's not
link
what
to
I'm
the
saying.
two. That's literally what you're saying. Like, oh, just
You're
because
saying because
Woodrow
a
Wilson
president
didn't
made
make,
it,
just
therefore
because
it is a federal company.
you're literally saying Woodrow Wilson made it, but
No,
it's
he signed a
It was still made by the federal government, even though it's
he
independent.
signed the Federal Reserve Act, which then gave funding for this corporation.
Yes,
so
he
with
agreed
that
to
logic,
it.
Mary, just hear me out, please. Just for like fucking 3 seconds. I'm going to make your claim, and then I'm going to give a simile, okay? You're saying that Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, and therefore created this company, and that makes it a federal company. That is equivalent to saying President Obama signed an act to pay and help the auto industry, and therefore all auto companies are now federally owned.
It's not the same thing.
It is the same thing because money was money was granted, and something was created. So money was granted, and we fixed the economy. Do you understand?
It's not the same thing. You can't compare the Federal Reserve.
It's not
to
about
an auto
comparing the
industry.
value of those two statements. It's the simile of those statements. Just because one thing is done doesn't mean it means something to you. It's okay that it doesn't mean what you think it means. That's okay. You know that, right? Like it's all right if you believe something and then someone says, that may not necessarily be accurate. And then instead of saying, no, I know everything.
I'm not
impossible.
saying that. I'm telling you.
Because you're saying I'm wrong, but I'm challenging you on the stance. That's all. That's all I'm doing. I'm challenging you on the stance because you're making your claim to why it is not is never mind. It doesn't matter.
It's
All right,
illegal.
What's your
It's
question?
immoral.
What's your question?
God, I love you. All right, so the whole premise of this was this guy literally said that we don't control what is happening here. It's controlled in the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve, as you just said, is an independent entity, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I'm asking you. That is a question. It's not a statement. That was a question, Thomas. Jesus Christ. Do I have to put question mark at the end of the statement? That way you know it's a question?
Well, I don't want,
Okay. So aside from that, we both agree that it's still created by the federal government. Are you saying no, that it was not created by the federal government?
No, I am agreeing that it was created not necessarily by the federal government. It was an act that was signed in to allow allowance for it. It does have oversight from the government. I'm not sure you know that. But it itself is independent from the government.
Oh, God.
Like they have a CEO, they have a president, they have a chairman.
Yeah, they got, like a company.
They wouldn't have a chairman if it was a government company. Like there's not a chairman. Never mind, it doesn't matter.
You're funny.
Because it was ultimately created, by the way, the rule of law. Like Congress had to agree to something, the Senate had to agree to things, government had to agree to things, and then the president was like, sure, let's sign this into law. Like it wasn't like the president was like, I want this and let it be. Like it was a process of law, which makes it not authoritarian. Esque.
Yes.
Say it. It's illogical. I wanted to say it. Trust me. Trust me, Jose. I wanted to say it.
Oh, man. You're funny, man.
Anyway, what's your question? What do you want me to say to make you feel like your position is right?
No, bro. It's not about was right or wrong, man. All right, so did we already put this one? 24 to 52?
Oh, we're doing another one?
This is
Is this a 10-minute video?
USAID. This is a USAID title Covered Up, which, you brought that up earlier. So I thought that was interesting that you brought it up.
What did I bring up?
This. Maybe you didn't even know that you brought it up. You brought this up, how they're like boarding up federal agencies.
Oh, taking down the sign.
They're taking it down. It's out. I think this is just symbolism. And if it's really going to
point out
take it
that
down,
the,
that'd be wild.
You said the Federal Reserve runs the system, but I think you're basing it off of what that guy said on the video.
That was the title, bro. That is what titles are.
But I'm saying that's not necessarily true. They don't necessarily run the system, but it is a part of the value of money versus the flow of money versus what is owed to the Federal Reserve.
I love it how you say that after we had that conversation. It's great. It's fabulous. I asked you, and then you did. All right, cool. Okay. So you said that repeat what you said, because I was already on USAID funding. I was already ready to go there. So repeat what you said, please.
He was specifically talking about how the Federal Reserve manages the monetary policies and financial system by how much they can flow into the system. So they control the value of money based on how much they print each year or every whenever. But they don't really control like the system of like government. I just want to make sure you're not misunderstanding that or suggesting to the listeners that the Federal Reserve controls the system of government.
Okay, but what does it mean by we're not the ones who make the actual changes? It's the Federal Reserve. What did he mean by that?
Specifically, he's talking about the monetary policies and the financial system, which has not. They're not talking about the governmental system.
Okay, they're talking about the financial system.
And that's always been true because they handle how much money gets printed and produced and distributed, and then they also handle money that is destroyed, so like old money, damaged money, right? They'll take it in and destroy it, but they also, because of that, it influences the value of money. However, there are nuanced, I don't want you to think that's the only thing now because it's a part of the process, but it is a nuanced and complicated equation that allots for the fluctuation of money and the value of money. So, up and down. It's like the price of eggs, right? It isn't because fucking there's somebody in office. There are far too many variables involved for a person sitting at a desk to influence eggs. Just like gas, they don't necessarily make the price of gas. And then there are other things involved.
And then for there to be changes in the actual government financial system, it would have to go through Congress and then Senate, right?
If it is the process of how money works within the system, that is the government. If it is how much money is allowed to be pushed out, the fiscal policies, things like that, then the Treasury Department handles that, is what I'm saying. Like they handle the fiscal policy, they handle the government finances. So the Treasury Department, which I believe, I'm not gonna stand on this, but I believe they're trying to overhaul the Treasury Department too. They're going to do an investigation into it. But the Treasury Department handles governmental finances and fiscal policies, right? But the Federal Reserve, their primary role is managing the nation's monetary policy and the financial system itself. Those are two different things. I know the word financial is in both of them. I know fiscal's there. I know that it sounds like money. But that does not necessarily mean they are the same thing. Again, the argument stands a person could be both tall and short. Just because someone's tall doesn't mean they are short. They are not short. I'm just saying, statements and words, there can be multiple nuances to it.
Okay, so, all right. So what you're saying is in the Treasury, they're trying to do like an audit?
Oh,
For
in the
governments-
Treasury Department, which is not the Federal Reserve.
Right. Yes, I get that. Yeah, the Treasury Department is part of the federal government.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the Treasury Department has a lot of power. I don't know if you know that. So they're trying to do an overhaul. That's what I've been reading, but again, I don't have a lot of information on it, so I can't really speak on it
What
as
do you
an
mean
expert.
an overhaul?
Like what they're doing with the educational department, what they're trying to do with the other departments, where they're trashing and pulling signs down. Like they're trying to rehaul the government. I mean, it sounds funny, but that is what they are doing, right? They're shutting down.
I mean, that guy is the head of the Treasury Department, the guy that you just saw, Bennett.
Yeah, which has
whatever
nothing to
his
do with the
name is.
Federal Reserve. They're
No,
two
but
separate-
he has something. He does have to do with the Treasury, which is what you just brought up, and he's aligned with the agenda to reform and cut and see where there's excess spending. So
yeah, sure.
If he's saying that the media is blowing it up more than what it's supposed to, then
Well, we can't believe
should be
the
some
government
trust
in the
into
sense
that.
of no, because PR is PR. I grew up in the entertainment industry, working with PR agencies, and just the fact that they're speaking in sound bites doesn't necessarily relate to the truth. They are protecting the image of or the position of their agenda. And
You're talking
in
about
reality,
media?
No, them.
Who's
They,
them?
The people who are speaking. Anyone in the government has a PR team.
Okay.
And they work through what they're going to say, how they're going to say it, and their approach, because they don't want to tell you the truth. And I'm not saying this is a conspiracy. It's a PR move. Like, for example, if we were being attacked, like let's say there was a nuclear bomb about to go off in New York City. PR-wise, they're not going to tell anyone there's a bomb. They're just not going to do it because it would cause more chaos than anything. They would just try to stop the bomb. And then if they do, then they'll be like, there was a bomb, we stopped it. And then everyone's like, oh, they were controlling, but in reality, like the PR needs to be controlled to regulate the response to it. So whenever someone talks, when it's these things, anytime it's filmed, you have to listen to what they're saying and then do the research on the foundation of it, but not necessarily take them for their word, because it's like if like P. Diddy right now, let's say he wasn't in jail. His PR, they wouldn't be because they're fired, but the PR company would be doing whatever they could to make it look like whatever was found was not necessarily true. And that's how the government works too, because they have to have a public relations. They can't tell you the direct truth. There's no way Trump, Obama, anybody, Woodrow Wilson, none of them can tell you the truth, because if they did, it would cause a chaotic response to it. They have to give you an orchestra. That is one of the biggest complaints about Trump, is sometimes he's a little too honest, but without the knowledge. He's just talking sometimes. And when you listen to other presidents, like, oh, he's too political, he's a politician. But he's talking in a way that allows you to, like, for example, when they killed the terrorists, Trump came out, he died like a dog.
That was hilarious.
Right? But like when Obama came out, he explained the process and everything, and
Did
he made
you
it
see
sort
the
of
comparison?
digestible.
Did you ever see the comparison of one to the other? It was hilarious. You guys should look it up. It's hilarious.
But it is very funny. It is a funny comparison. But the point is, one was presented in a very PR fashion that allowed the nation to sort of absorb it and understand what happened without it being partisan. And then the other one was he died like a dog, and then people who are fanatics fall into the wave of chaos, and then they're like, our guy killed him.
Hold on. Why do you think that if you prefer that over the PR campaign, that they're fanatics?
No. A person who hears it, and if they are partisan, that's the important word you got to listen to.
Got it.
If they are partisan and they believe nothing of the other side, and that their side can do no wrong, and they're like, yes, he's telling the truth. He murdered him like a dog. Like, that is fanatic behavior. It's the same thing as if you were in a cult. They can say nothing wrong. They could be like, yeah, I had sex with my sister. And they're like, of course you did. That's the best thing. We should be having sex.
But
it's not a bipartisan response.
But
so there are people that respect Trump and likes Trump, but they probably were like, that may not have been the right approach, but I do agree with his policies. And that would be a bipartisan response.
But you're assuming that.
I didn't assume anything.
I mean, this is me telling you. I think what you just said is assuming that everybody who sees him in not the way you just described is.
What is
which
that
is
way?
not
So we're sure
polished.
you understand what's going on.
What I think what you're saying is, because he's not a polished president, like we're accustomed to. Let me finish. Because we're used to being a president's being polished. This guy was rough. He was, kind of like over the top and no filter. Totally different than what the PR campaign that we're accustomed to. So because it's different, you're assuming that those who are like, yeah, I mean, this is different, they're partisan.
Who's assuming?
You are assuming.
Oh, but everything you just said is not accurate to what I said.
But that's what you just said. You literally just
said. That is what I said.
Obama had a PR campaign, and Donald Trump's campaign was not PR or not PR enough, whatever like that means. PR. I mean, I know what it means. Public relations.
I think you're starting a new conversation, and I'm not privy to what was presented.
You're saying?
Are you saying
because of the way he said it that makes people that like him partisan? Because we like that he was.
No, that does not make them partisan.
Rough
partisan
and
is that they already
I don't
are.
give a fuck
Do you know what partisan means?
We like that he doesn't give a fuck. Like, why is that wrong? How is that partisan?
You're saying that I said. No, you know what? It doesn't matter. Mary, whatever you said, I said it. And you, yes, that's what I believe. Now correct me. Or
no, but that's like.
No, I'm not going to have a debate on something you don't. You just went off for 3 minutes, and it had nothing to do with what I said. You just heard things through your cognitive dissonance.
Oh my God,
and made up a new position and said that I said it. And then I assume.
If that's not what you said, even though that is what you said, I just said it in a different way, which is my way. We all say it differently. Okay, please. If that's not what you said, clarify for me, please. Clarify, because that's what I am understanding that you're saying.
Yeah, too. No.
No what?
No. There's nothing to whatever you want it to be. I'm happy it could be whatever you want it to be. It doesn't matter. If you want a debate on something that you want to make up, I just need to know what it is. But you can't say I assumed it and then go on about something I didn't assume. So I don't know how to answer it or correct what you said because it had become so disjointed that it had nothing to do with what I was talking about in the first place.
Didn't you just say
What did I
Obama's
just
speech was PR polished and Donald Trump's speech was not because of what he said? Okay,
I said those two things.
We're on agreement there. All right, let's move on.
Those statements, yes.
Okay, let's. Okay, cool. I'm glad we're on agreement here. Now you're saying those who agree with Donald Trump's approach versus Obama's approach are
that is not what I
likely
said.
to be partisan.
No, stop.
Okay,
stop,
cool.
Stop.
Please
Stop.
help me out with that part.
That is where you disconnected from what I said.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we were able to find the disconnection. Let's connect it.
Okay. What do you want?
Explain that. That's the part that I'm missing.
Moving forward doesn't matter because what you believe I said isn't real. So we don't have to explain that.
I mean,
that doesn't exist. I don't agree, nor do I have the position you created. You know what I'm saying? Like if we move on from that disconnect, it's a moot point because I don't. Not only do I agree with you.
If I'm telling you my perception of what you just of your statement of what you just
wrong,
explained to me,
and now you have to accept that.
Then prove that to be wrong. That's
I don't understand the conversation then.
How do you not understand the conversation?
Because I told you where the disconnect was.
I told you
so
what
I proved that it was wrong.
Okay, I don't think. Okay, just to be clear here,
when
somebody says something and then somebody counteracts it with something else that they said based on what they understood from with the first statement, then I'm assuming you're supposed to explain or prove or there's supposed to be like some type of thing.
Listen, we got to the point where you made the disconnect.
Yes.
Everything you said thereafter has nothing to do with. I don't have to prove anything. I already proved it by saying that was the disconnect.
Okay, great.
So what you said was inaccurate. So I don't need. We don't. If you want to debate people, I mean, that I think you're, and this is your, and by the way, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not saying you said this, but I feel the claim was, I'm not saying that I said it, but you're saying that I said it, that people who agree with Trump's approach are fanatics.
I said you're assuming. I used the word assume in there. And that's my perspective. That's my perspective. You know, I think you're assuming.
Can I finish?
Yes.
Aoife.
Yes, please.
Right? You're saying I assume people who support Trump's presentation are fanatics. And I don't agree with that statement.
You said partisan.
And therefore I proved, there we go. I agree with you. I don't think they are fanatics. I do not think that people who believe or like Trump's approach better than Obama's or anyone else's are indeed fanatics. So I'm on the same page with you. That's why I'm saying it's a moot point to go any further, because you made an assumption based on your cognitive dissonance, which is not a negative thing. It's just it's a psychological change. All right, fine. You didn't have cognitive. I am wrong. I just agreed with you, but somehow, you know, I'm also wrong on that, I guess. Somehow you thought I said something, but of course I said it. I don't even know. Like, why would I think I didn't say it? So obviously, I'm using the wrong word. It's not cognitive dissonance. It's cognition.
Oh man, if you guys didn't catch on to the cognition before, it's me writing cognition instead of cognitive dissonance, because I can't see.
And the confidence you had, you're like, it says,
and I know, and then I read it and I was like, that's not what this is. At least I knew that that's not the definition, because I was like, that's not it. And then I read the little letters, cognizance. I was like, oh, I have the wrong word. Oh god, I need context, guys. I'm sorry.
All right. So did I prove
they're turning the frogs
I'm
gay?
wrong or something?
Are they turning the frogs gay? Do you think
What?
they're turning the frogs gay?
I'm answering that.
He's like, I'm not gonna answer that.
Frogs by nature can actually change their sex to accommodate the lack of male or females within a community to procreate. So they're asexual in a sense. I don't know if you know that, because science.
Oh my god, this guy, I love this guy. Would love to see this guy debate Destiny on a topic they both disagree on. Oh,
That's the thing, though. Destiny doesn't. I'm the same way as Destiny is. He doesn't necessarily agree or disagree on the topics he discusses. He approaches it with a bipartisan approach, meaning he agrees with both sides of knowledge and information, but he presents the facts and how something is or isn't. I don't necessarily agree with his approach all the time, but he is not debating his, because there are many times when he says, I don't agree with this, but X, Y, Z, 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 right? So he is presenting a position, but he is not in acceptance of that position. He's just debating the information. Sort of like saying, if I just said the frog thing, which is 100% true, and you go, it's not true. It's not my belief that it is true. It's scientifically true. So I am just discussing the data and not necessarily do I believe in evolution or creationism. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has nothing to do with my personal belief. It is just, the sky, whatever. It's like saying atmosphere has to have oxygen in it. That's not true. So I would debate what makes atmosphere, not my belief that, well, atmosphere has oxygen on Earth, so therefore every atmosphere must have oxygen. Like, it's when people don't believe there's atmosphere in space or on the moon. You're like, okay, well, we cannot have a conversation.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of that, there's this guy that supposedly took pictures of the moon, and it turns out the moon has like this reddish thing now, and they're saying that it could be rust, and then that's connected to the Bible. This is all like a video that Laz showed me. I'm literally just giving you bits of what I remember from that video. I was just like, interesting. Very interesting. I wish I could find it where I can put it up here, but by the time we find that, it's going to be with my amazing technology skills. All right, so check this out. So U.S. aid, United States Agency of International Development, created by John F. Kennedy for good intentions. He had good intentions when he did that, right? I understand where the intentions are, trying to help everybody. But we need to help ourselves now. So it turns out that Zun Cuban Twitter, apparently they've tried making a Cuban Twitter. Between 2010 and 2012, USAID developed a social media platform called Zuneo, aimed at Cuban users. The platform initially shared non-political content to attract users, but reportedly intended to later introduce political messages to foster dissent against the Cuban government. I have so much to say about that. The covert nature of this project and its political objective led to a significant controversy. And then we got LGBTQI plus, how is I? Whatever. Advocacy initiatives. Intersex. Okay. USAID has funded various projects supporting LGBTQI plus rights globally. For instance, approximately 1.5 million was allocated to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbian workplaces, focusing on LGBTQI plus individuals. Additionally, a $25,000 grant was awarded to the University of Columbia to raise awareness and increase transgender representation through the production of an opera. That is interesting. These initiatives have sparked debate regarding their alignment with U.S. foreign objectives. Oh, let's move on to another one. I only have 4 here. There's a lot of them, but let's just talk about these. Electric vehicle infrastructure in Vietnam. USAID allocated $2.5 million.
What did you call it?
What?
Say Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yeah, no, I thought you said knob. That's a funnier way to say it.
I mean, my accent, bro. I'm bad.
I want to play with the knob.
$2.5 million to build electric vehicles charging stations in Vietnam. Critics question the relevance of this project to USAID's core mission and its direct benefit to American taxpayers. And then the last one, tourism promotion in Egypt. A $6 million investment was made to promote tourism in Egypt. Some critics argue that such funding might not directly serve U.S. interests or provide clear benefits to American citizens.
So before we get started,
yeah.
Would you say that's partisan or bipartisan topics?
I don't know.
Okay, so do you know what bipartisan or partisan is?
Partisan is just everybody favors one side. Bipartisan is, both sides. Even if it's a little bit.
It's that both sides agree on said subject.
Yeah,
so
even though it's only a little bit.
What?
Like, you can say, okay, like, the only thing I like about the whole bipartisan thing is that it can be, let's say, they pass a bill with the majority of Republicans and, like, only 6 Democrats voted on it. And then I go, it's a bipartisan bill. I'm like, no, it's not. It's like 6 Democrats and the rest of you are Republicans. That's not bipartisan.
I see what you're saying. I see. Yeah.
You know what I'm
only
saying?
6 Democrats voted yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
like, it is, but it isn't,
But that doesn't negate the fact that bipartisan and partisan exists. These topics are technically partisan because they are favored by one side, not both sides. And the reason that is because do you agree or disagree with any of these? If you disagree with any of them, that becomes a partisan issue, right? If you agree with it, that also could be a partisan issue. However, if the majority, which right now is in disagreement to this, right? If you agree with it, then you are partisan on one side, because Democrats and the Republicans don't agree necessarily on these topics. They're having a debate about it. So they are technically partisan.
That's good that they're having a debate about it.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm bringing this up because it's one of the hottest topics right now is, this USAID thing, because after Elon Musk said what he said and then everybody just started blowing it up and then, there goes the PR campaign, and they're all talking about it. So I was like, why not talk about it here, So, I mean, I didn't know about the Zuneo, whatever. I recently found out about that, like, yesterday. I knew about the LGBTQ stuff. I knew about the electric car, and I didn't know about the tourists of, Okay, I don't think it's partisan to want to see why we're spending money on these things and actually...
Then you don't know what partisan means.
Okay, let me finish. I don't think it's partisan.
I'm saying it's moot after you say that.
I don't think it's partisan because I think most people can agree that there are things that we really don't have to be spending our money on, and we are. And I think that's what this is all about. It's about actually like looking into like what are we really spending our money on, and is it really benefiting us? You know what I'm saying?
Mary.
What?
You're creating a new conversation utilizing the other information. The information doesn't coexist. So what you're saying is true. There is a bipartisan agreement that there should be some sort of organized budgeting and that certain things shouldn't be funded.
Right.
However, these topics are partisan. So they are, to say that these aren't partisan because some people blank. You're saying that some people, if not all people, think that we should organize money and budget it. That is a true statement, but that has nothing to do with those subjects being partisan or bipartisan. They are partisan because one side agrees with helping people and the other side wants to cut the costs, right?
But how is this helping people?
Do you agree with what I just said first?
I mean, I'm missing the part where this is partisan. Like
bipartisan is when two parties agree on said thing.
Right.
Partisan is when one party disagrees and the other party agrees, or vice versa, right? Because if they both disagreed, then they'd be bipartisan. So in this situation, I would say, based on the laws that have been passed by the Democrats, that the LGBTQI stuff probably is in favor on the Democratic side and probably not. Right. So that would make it what?
Oh, that's what you mean by partisan. Got it. Okay. I connected that one.
You know,
I'm just like, what do you mean? Okay, cool. Yes, yes.
So, but your comment is accurate when you say, I think the majority of people would want to see where money's being spent and budgeted and organized. But that statement being true does not necessarily have anything to do with this being bipartisan or partisan.
Got it. Okay. Now I understand you. Okay, so aside from, I mean, let's just kind of like talk a little bit about it, and then we'll move on to RFK, because I really want to know your perspective. So the only thing I don't like, okay, if instead of spending the money on creating a Cuban Twitter, how about you, I don't know, negotiate and actually get our food to, or do business with them versus this. Like, this is stupid. I don't understand why this is even, like, if you're gonna spend the money on like trying to influence Cubans, maybe giving them food, like a better worth of money than this. Like, this is retarded. You know, you can use a hard R here, by the way. It's just dumb. Like, I don't, whatever. What do you think?
What does the U.S. aid do?
I mean, it's like a humanitarian thing,
That's fine. All right. It also, there are offices.
I mean, it started off as a humanitarian thing,
walls and windows. But what does it do?
I mean, it started off as a humanitarian thing for Africa,
what?
And then in the Middle East after everything that happened there, and then South America too. But then it also
is like, do you're just saying things. You're not necessarily representing.
It's supposed to fund like different organizations, like fund health organizations that go and they, for the vaccines to, kids with that are struggling from hunger in Africa, stuff like that. But
so you don't know what it does. You just know they've done things.
Yeah, they spend their money on things, on different, it can be different projects.
Before we go any further, would you agree with this statement? You are not 100% sure on what USA does, but you do know that they have done things.
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Okay. That is not cognitive dissonance.
Okay.
Because your behavior matches what you believe, which is that you agree with the statement that defines you. And that is not cognitive dissonance.
All right.
Say, psychology major. All right. So, first and foremost, is it important to approach these positions based on what USA does? So this is taking out the emotional element, because it's not really about what I want in the world, because what I want in the world can't happen, right? Because I'm a humanist, right? So in a sense, all right? So if you're saying something is, as you said, retarded. That sounds, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, there is no information backing that data. It is a personal and emotional opinion that that thing is indeed stupid.
Yeah, that's my perspective of this.
Correct.
I'm
correct.
Cuban. This
Yeah.
is stupid to spend your money on.
I get it. So I have to decide how I want to approach the conversation, because do I want to approach this logically, or do we want to just have opinions like we're talking heads? And either one is okay with me, but we have to both switch. Meaning, like, I can't talk to you with my brain while you're just like, I hate green.
All right, I'm giving you my opinion, so give me whatever empirical.
Do you just want my opinion?
Or, I mean, what are your thoughts about this? What do you think?
Well, there are two ways. Like I said, I'll just give you my thoughts on it. I don't care. It does not affect me.
Okay,
there's
well,
nothing
that was
the government
fast.
can do that affects me.
Okay, what about? I mean, okay, fine, I get it. You don't care. Of course.
Well, the reason I don't care is just like, how does it affect me?
I mean, it doesn't have
water,
to affect you.
I got my phone.
This doesn't
I got
affect
the
me
internet.
either, but it doesn't change the
So
fact
why
that
care?
I think it's like dumb to spend your
Do you
money
pay
on
taxes?
this. What?
You pay taxes?
Yes, I do.
How do you pay taxes?
Lots of them.
How do you pay taxes?
What do you mean by doing my taxes every year?
But how do you pay taxes? That's
Spending money and working.
okay.
And then they
Spending money. So
tax
when
me.
you buy something, there's a sales tax, right?
Yep.
And then when you work, you get taxed. There's a bunch of stuff that comes out. I'm not even going to ask you what they are. We'll just assume you know every single thing that comes off of it. All right. Okay. Right. That's accurate, right? Like if I asked you, like, what comes out of it? You're like, I already know. It's things.
The fact that a lot comes out, whatever. I don't.
Right.
We're gonna get to the whole. We're gonna get to that.
So it's coming to my attention that based on your position that this is stupid, it's a waste of money, most likely you want your taxes to go towards things that you believe in, right? Which becomes partisan or bipartisan, depending on what side you sit on. But since the majority right now is
It's
Republican,
not what I believe in. It's what's actually helpful, like overall.
But that's
like,
what
this
you
is
believe
not
is
helpful.
no, that statement.
It's not about what I believe.
It is.
But this is not helpful, though. You're gonna say that this is helpful.
You're saying you believe, which is, by the way, Mary, it is fine that you believe this. There's nothing wrong with.
But
belief,
how is this humanitarian? Isn't that what U.S. aid is supposed to be about? Humanitarian? How is this humanitarian?
But you don't know what it does to make that statement. You can say you don't like it and disagree with it, and we could have that conversation. But you don't know what the U.S. aid does to say that it doesn't follow the mission statement. That's all I'm saying. Like, you're looking it up so you can have it.
Yes, because it's like,
Spell it
dude.
correctly. Remember, it's
like,
USAID.
I've looked it up, and it's like they give the most basic freaking like thing ever. With average annual disbursements of about $23 billion since 2001, USAID is one of the largest official aid agencies in the world and accounts for more than half of all U.S. foreign assistance, the highest in the world in absolute dollar in terms. So it's.
And what do they do?
Just said.
You can't just read a definition and know what they do.
It's an agency
it's okay that you don't know what they
freaking
do.
Spends money around the world. That's literally what it is.
But that is not what they do.
For humanitarian purposes.
Their job isn't to spend money around the world.
Okay, what is their job?
It doesn't matter what I'm trying to make a point, and you just keep moving away, moving the goalpost here. We can't have a conversation. I'm trying to create a foundation, what you believe, so I can have a conversation about it. I have to determine that before I can give an answer, because obviously I don't care. None of this matters.
You're like Mike Pence. It does not concern me.
I'm just gonna make like I'm sleeping and this ain't happening.
It does not concern me.
Anyway,
that is you, Thomas.
You're making claims, and for me to because again, I don't care about this. It doesn't affect me. But you want me to answer it, so I'm going to answer your claim. But I have to understand your claim, so I have to ask questions against the claim. But ultimately, your claim is emotional because it's your personal preference. You believe this is doing nothing. But I stand on the fact that I No, you don't know what they do because you haven't been able to articulate it other than they give money to other countries, which isn't what they do. Their job isn't to spend money all over the world. That's not
foreign
what.
aid. It doesn't have to be just money. It can be for anything.
But what is?
It can be medicine.
Well, maybe
it can be research.
Well,
it can be a
all right,
bunch of
so
shit.
let's just dumb it down. Let's just say foreign aid. You're saying all they do is foreign aid. That is not
That's
an
not
accurate
all they
statement.
do. That's one of the things they do. But it's aiding. That's why it's called
But
U.S.
you don't know what
they call
foreign
it
aid
US
means. And that's okay. So we're going to
Okay.
just use the phrase
But
foreign aid
the
to help
purpose-
you get through
okay,
this.
but the purpose, neither of us are experts on this. So like,
No, I
let's
am,
stop
though.
trying to pretend we are. But if you are, then explain what it is. Instead
I
of
don't
just
think
fucking
that's-
like,
we're not to that part of the conversation yet. You don't believe certain things.
okay.
We have to get you on the same page to have a conversation about it. Because if I say anything, you're not going to agree with it. Because you already believe you know the answers. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're saying this is stupid, it's retarded, and it doesn't do anything. So I already know you don't know what the US aid does because you're saying this isn't humanitarian or foreign aid. That's what your statement is.
'Cause it
That's your
isn't.
position. Right?
Yes, that is my position.
Okay, so that automatically indicates that you don't know what US aid or foreign aid has to do with.
So because, okay.
Which is fine. I'm not critiquing you. I'm
It
trying
doesn't
to
matter how technical or not technical I am about the definition or what the operations, the intrinsic. You're not a USA worker. You don't.
Yeah.
So like you're assuming like it doesn't matter. Point is, they're a literal organization that is now being exposed for using our money on things that we believe is
No, it's not.
dumb
we
to use our
believe.
money on.
It's not. But the belief part is the part that is the thing.
But
I'm
it's
trying
our
to
money.
understand.
It's our money. We have a right to believe this. It's our money.
That's exactly what I had said originally. That it's an emotional choice that you are affected by because it is spending your tax dollars, and you personally do not believe it's partisan. That this is doing what you would want it to do. You think it could go towards things you believe are healthy or better suited for aid. That's my point. Your position on it is not necessarily looking at it as foreign aid. You're looking at it on what you believe is useful or not.
This is not a humanitarian way to help a country that's a
you.
third world country. No, I am somebody that was born in the country, and there are so many other ways you can benefit the Cuban people than giving them a freaking
All right,
social
well,
media
let's talk
platform.
about LGBTQ then, since none of us are any of that, right? So now we can't say, well, I was from the piece of land and I swam all the way to America, so I know everything about the Cuba.
I'm just saying.
No, let's go to
I'm just saying.
LGBTQ. Do you think that is retarded and should be tossed out and be used for something better?
I don't know why we are spending money globally on talking about the LGBTQ plus to the world.
So you disagree? You think this is not foreign aid and should be tossed aside and they should
I'm
be
trying to
spending money
figure
on
out
something
why
else?
they are saying it's aid. I don't know how this is aiding
Which
anybody.
again brings us back to I believe you do not know what U.S. aid does.
Well, how about this? We're gonna go through them all four of them, and then when we're done, I want you to give me what exactly U.S. aid is, because apparently you think, because I don't know what it means, because you do, that this is perfectly fine, and we should continue spending money on this shit.
No. Stop. It has nothing to do with if I agree or disagree with the usage.
No, it's
because
what you
again,
know, because you know
my
everything.
My position is I
right?
don't care. It doesn't affect me. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't give a crap if they spend money on fucking Cuban Twitter or they go to Egypt and get orange whips. Like, it doesn't matter to me.
What it do, El Lockdown? Thank you for showing up. All right, so.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're saying that's how you ended that statement. Is you like, my position is already known. I don't care. I'm trying to have.
But you're saying that I don't know what U.S. aid is because of my stance on this. But my stance is the most basic stance.
You don't need to know what it is my point.
Yes,
because you're
I
allowed
agree with
to have
I 100%
You're allowed
agree
to
with
have
you.
an emotional belief on it, but you're saying that it is retarded, and I'm like, okay, why? And you're like, because it should be used for other things, and it's not doing anything for global aid. And I go, okay, well, then the question is, what is global aid, and how does it look like?
Yes, that is the question. What is global aid?
That means you don't know what USA is. Because if
Okay,
you did,
that is a-
then you
that's
would
a-
be able to answer the question.
That's a good question, though, because I don't agree this is global aid.
Great. So would you agree that you do not know what USAID is then?
Okay. What is USAID now is not what I think USAID was intentionally for.
Okay. Again, that part, that is belief. That is your partisan belief, which is fine again. But I'm not going to debate that. I have no position because I don't care. Like you care. You're like, oh, all my money is $1.5 million. By the way, they didn't take $1.5 million from you.
No
All right?
shit.
How many people are in the world?
I don't know. Freaking.
How many people in America?
I don't know. A lot. Too many. Not too many. We can have. No. Not too many.
So if we're looking at 334 million people, okay? Let's do the math. 334.9 million divided by 1.5. So over the course of, let's see, divided by, let's say a year, even though it's more than a year, they've taken $18 of your money in a year's time. By the way, it's more than a year, though. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, they took $18 of taxes from you. It's less than that, to put towards it.
So that's how you're seeing
you're
it.
upset. Your $18 that you
Okay, I
gave
understand.
away
That's how
should
you're
have been
seeing it.
spent to, like, people should get tacos or something. I don't know.
I think my $18 is we're gonna be really like we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. You know, we're going to Excel spreadsheets now. My
Create the partisan
$18 should definitely go to something that's actually going to help the Cuban people, for example. And
So they're not helping the Cuban people, is your claim?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So, what is your claim? You're saying it should go towards other things to help the Cubans. Are you saying they are not helping the Cubans? They are only
doing this. No.
doing the Twitter. You think they are doing other things, right?
No,
So,
I'm saying that, like, okay, if it's okay, this is all hypothetical. Let's say that my $18 went to this, right? The Cuban Twitter. That's what you're saying. Okay, I would like my $18 to go to food for them or something else.
okay.
That's actually
that's a partisan position, which is fine.
okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. You can absolutely believe that.
Okay, what about the LGBTQ? Okay, the Democrats are for this. The question
The
is,
Democrats are for all four of these things.
well, yes, they are. They are all for these things. They are all for these things. I just don't know why, considering we don't have that.
That's okay that you don't know why. I already told you why you don't know why. And that's fine too. So it can be an emotional decision based on what your beliefs are. But if you're asking my opinion on any of these, again,
Yes.
not only do I not care about any of them, they don't affect
Okay,
me.
we know you don't care, bro, but take a position, damn it.
I also don't care about your positions because we are not the same people.
Yes.
So I don't have to agree or disagree with it. And me disagreeing with it does not mean you're wrong. It just means we have different positions.
Yes, and they challenging my position. Okay, so challenge my damn position.
Are you going to change if I challenge? Like, do I need to change you? Like, how does that affect the world? Like, if I use logic and science, right? And, like, data.
Just use use logic and
right?
science. What do you think
And then
about
you hear
this?
certain things and somehow you're able to get past the cognitive dissonance, right? Okay? All right? And then you're like, you know what? You changed my mind. I now will not use bananas as a dildo.
I mean,
right?
you're definitely not going to change my mind about this, but I want to know your perspective on it.
I already told you my perspective.
That you don't care. Yes, I got that part.
Like, why? Okay, all right. Let's just fuck around with it, okay? Let's have fun.
Yes,
This will make
thank you.
sense.
Jesus Christ.
Twitter. I don't know, like shouldn't they be spending money on like boats or something? Because like all the Cubans, they always swim and get shot, caught up in sharks. That's fucked. I'm gonna use ignorance. I'm not gonna really have like actual I just don't understand. Like U.S. aid, like there's no aid. Are they saying AIDS to Cuba? And now there's a conspiracy with AIDS. And I think they're trying to give the Cubans AIDS to Twitter because the Democrats are the devil. All right. You have anything for that?
That's gonna be a great clip. That's gonna be a great clip. All right. So RFK response on Universal.
Hey, we're moving on. You don't have an opinion on that?
Honestly, I can't. I would like dilute it. You know, just keep it.
Because you agree with it.
Let's just keep it intact. I want to keep that. That was great. That was great. I loved it. That was awesome. You're so entertaining. You really are. You can tell you've been in camera for a long time. No, I'm right. You're wrong. I don't know what he meant by that, but that's me. I'm right. You're wrong. Shut up.
Yeah. Shut up. My opinions cannot be molded by your satanic decisions. The earth is flat because I cannot think beyond logic.
I can definitely think beyond logic.
If you look at the moon in a certain way, you can't see a reflection in the water.
Is it this guy? Yes, it is.
Are we going to talk? Universal health. COVID wasn't real.
Oh man, this guy. You like Bernie? What do you like Bernie?
Bernie Sanders? Listen, everybody has to like somebody who cares about people.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Let's get it started. Now.
Now, just tell me, you don't agree with the
president?
Hold on. Shh. I wanted to get your reaction.
I'm just
agree with me that the United States should join every other major country on earth and guarantee health care to all people as a human right. Yes?
I don't want to sit through 7 minutes.
It's not 7 minutes.
It's just 6 minutes and 52 seconds.
Senator, I can't give you a yes or no answer to that question.
Healthcare a human right.
You agree?
Is healthcare a human right?
That the United States.
In the way that free speech is a human right, I would say it's different because if with free speech doesn't cost anybody anything, but in healthcare, if you smoke cigarettes for 20 years and you get cancer, you are now taking from the pool. Well, and so are you guaranteed the same right?
I'm sorry. I'd love to talk for an hour with you.
Doesn't cost anybody anything.
All right. So
this guy's 100% right. All right, next clip.
Okay,
you gotta hit the button. You got this.
There you go. I got you.
Found me? No.
What is this?
Like
Why do I see
is that
this?
Pornhub?
What?
Right.
What the hell? Okay, so talk to me. All right, so I mean, I'll give you mine because mine. Everybody knows mine. You know, everybody knows it. So I 100% do not agree with universal health care. Yeah. I've told this to you and many others in the past. I did agree to an extent with my friend at Benny's who said, okay, what if private insurance were to become more abundant? Then will you be sort of okay with it? And I did compromise. But then I got a message from some person who told me that the universal health care would just create another tax on people like them who are very remote. That guy lived in, or was it that he lived? I forgot what state he said. West Virginia. And he said that, you know, like people over there, they live very remote lives and they don't have a lot of money, and universal health care would just like force them to have to pay something they can't afford. And I didn't even think about that. I was just like, oh,
yeah,
wow.
Me either. That is a wild thought.
So, yeah. I mean, and so I like the way Kennedy said this to Sanders, because Sanders is always pushing the whole universal health care thing, democratic socialist crap.
Who's your friend? Let's go back to the friend.
What friend?
I'm just trying to understand the logic in his. It's a logical fallacy, his statement, because it's incorrectly presented, right?
Wait, who are we talking about?
Your friend who said that the guy who lives on a fucking island is going to it's going to cost him more money out of his pay, and he's going to ultimately be poorer because
He doesn't
of
live in an
universal health care.
island. He lives in West Virginia.
No, the guy said in his example that somebody who lives in an island.
Wait, nobody said island.
He lived alone. He was talking about some old fucker. He was making up somebody.
Who are we talking
saying that
about? Talking about RFK?
Moving on.
No,
All right, go
like
ahead, go
I'm
back
so
to RFK.
confused. I mean, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you talking about the guy that told me
No,
about
I
West
get it.
Virginia?
It's abstract thinking. It's weird.
RFK, or are you talking about my friend at Benny's who talked about?
Talking about your friend making up something based on it's a logical fallacy. He created an illogical situation based on fiction, and it's just it was just so funny. I couldn't stop laughing.
Okay.
Because it was literally like somebody forgot how to think and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna say some words, right?" And because I said those words, it's fact.
I mean, isn't that what Kamala Harris did? That's how she ran, like, the whole time that she was.
Well, that would also be a logical fallacy. You're just making stuff up now.
I mean, that is what she did. But all right, sure. You don't think that's what she did? You don't think that's what she did? She just said random. She spewed nonsense.
She did everything you said. She is the devil.
No. I want to know. Do you think what she was saying was coherent at any moment in time when she was running for president? Yes or no?
Mary, I don't care.
I know you don't care, bro. That's great. I'm glad you don't care. That makes one of us.
I care more about human behavior than I care about your racism or judgment on Kamala Harris. Like, it
so
doesn't.
I'm saying so because I'm saying that, and I'm asking you to answer yes or no. I'm being racist.
No, it's not that you're being racist. It's that, like, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's.
But why would you use that if that's not what I'm? If you're not
because
calling me racist?
I'm showing you what it sounds like when you just make claims.
So okay, hold on. So
All right,
what you're saying is because I'm literally saying she said nonsense throughout her whole campaign.
Which is a claim.
That is what happened. That's not a
That's
claim. That is
fine
what
for you to
happened.
believe
That is
that.
me
But it is a
observing
claim.
reality for what it is.
And that would
you're
be the
saying
same as
because
me
I'm
going, you're
observing
making a
reality
racist
and I'm
statement.
coming up with my conclusions. That makes me racist. I'm not racist.
No. I'm saying the racist thing as a version of what it sounds like to make random claims and to believe them
That's
just
not a
because
claim.
I have a position.
That is. I mean, okay, fine.
No, it's
Let's
your
make it a claim.
perspective of
But
the
what-
situation
okay, fine.
and
What
your
is your-
emotional response to her
But what is your
behavior that
perspective
you
on it?
believe those things.
What is your
and that is
perspective?
okay.
Okay. I'm glad you think it's okay because I know it's okay
There's
too.
nothing wrong
What
with
is your
how you
perspective?
believe. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong. It's okay to have anybody. You could be like, the sky is made of pineapples, and I don't care that you believe that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so what your position is because you don't care, you're not going to respond yes or no.
No, it's that you're looking. Me giving any answer doesn't move a conversation forward because you're already partisan. You already do not like her because she is not Trump. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if I say
No,
anything
that's not
in
why I
favor-
don't like her. I don't like her because
okay.
she was a liar.
And Trump is not a liar. Is your
Why
point.
would you lie about the president being literally not mentally here? She lied about that. And when she was put on
Can I
spotlight
ask you a
about it,
question,
she
Mary?
literally
An
lied
honest-
again.
An honest question. An
So I
honest
have every right to say what I'm saying.
Can I ask you an honest question?
Yes.
Are you saying, okay, you do not like Kamala Harris? And I just want you to say yes or no, okay?
I
And then we'll
don't
get
like
into the
Kamala
nuance.
Harris, no. And I'm so glad
Hey.
she did not win presidency.
Look, we're going to get into the nuance of things, okay? But I just need you
For
to say
many
yes
logical reasons, not because she's not Donald Trump. It's
or
logical
Can I
reasons.
please? I didn't ask the question yet.
Okay.
But I just want you to say yes or no so we could slowly get to the nuance of it, okay? We're not capable of abstract thinking in this conversation to jump ahead, okay? I didn't say you're not capable. I said
yes.
we're not capable. All right? I'm definitely adult, okay? I'm insipid. You know, I barely have. Anyway, so listen. Are you saying Or let me make the statement. Do you believe that Kamala Harris was a liar?
I believe she
Yes or
has
no?
lied.
All right.
So yes.
So do you believe she is a liar?
I don't believe she is a liar because that would mean she's constantly lying, but I believe she has lied.
Don't go further. Again, that will create abstract thinking, and then it'll mess up the process. Okay. So you just said she is not a liar, but she has lied.
I don't know if she's a liar, but I know she has lied.
All right, let's move on to the next topic. Let's go back to FDR or whatever you want to talk about.
We're going to talk about fair trade.
I thought you wanted to do this universal light and say that people deserve to fucking die or something.
You want to, I mean.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's fucking just make things up. Let's just do it.
Wait, what? Hold on. You're talking about universal health care?
Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it.
Okay,
People
I know you agree with it. I know you agree with it. Okay.
I don't agree with the universal health care in the way that they present it.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What do you mean?
I think healthcare, education, among other things, is a God-given right that we should give to each other because we want to elevate as humans. But that isn't necessarily universal healthcare because that is a very specific thing. I don't agree with the system of universal healthcare, but that's all. But if I see someone dying, I think they should be helped. If I see somebody starving, they should be helped.
Okay.
So if, you know what I'm saying? Like, again, it's nuanced. People should get medical treatment. It shouldn't cost them an arm and a leg to get their arm and a leg taken off. You know what I'm saying? Because they have cancer or they're fucking, you know, whatever, they got blown up or something. And then his stupid argument, and I call it stupid because it's a moot point. He's saying, if somebody smoked for 20 years, I've never smoked. I've never drank, and I've never tried a drug. And I got cancer, right? To the point where I was about to die. However, my mom also smoked. So I didn't smoke, she smoked. And I had to watch her die from brain cancer and lung cancer. And of course, it's her fault, right? Because she smoked for 20, or not more than 20 years, smoked, you know, her whole life. So according to him, I get a pass, but I get to watch my mom die without any help and any ability to get treatment to at least just give her fucking medicine to sit there. And we had to listen to her literally only be able to go, she couldn't even stop that until she fell asleep. So I disagree with his analogy because it is a stupid analogy because he's taking away the reality of it, especially when dealing with cancer, because it's already been scientifically proven that it isn't just something that gives you cancer. Because I didn't get cancer because I did anything bad. I ate healthy. I ate broccolis. I drank water. I worked out literally 5 days a week. I did 3 or 4 different martial arts my whole life. I was what was considered healthy. And then I couldn't walk one day. I had trouble walking. And I'm like, what's going on? And my doctor's like, and it was cancer, right? And is that my fault? No. Just like it's not my mom's fault that she made mistakes based on marketing that kind of produced the lifestyle that smoking was cool. And now he's saying that a person like my mother deserves to suffer or should, even though she was in her 70s and doesn't have a job, because they also want to kind of disconnect the Social Security that she has earned, right? They want to be like, shouldn't have got what she got every month, that she should have had to have paid for a private insurer to take care of her cancer battle. That's why I don't agree with his example. If he given another example, like some people take advantage of the system, well, maybe now we could talk. But the free speech isn't the same as medical because somebody who smoked for 20 years, they're not taking advantage of anything. You know what I'm saying? Especially someone who's been smoking, 60 or 70-year-old. Marketing is a powerful thing. I know. Marketing got you to think certain things, right? Just like marketing got me to think certain things, because that's what marketing does. It attacks the part of the brain that it connects emotionally to ideas. And if it's like a stupid song, right? You're like, this song is dumb, and you turn it off, right? Back in the day, before like iPods, if you had the radio on they just go through songs. And if you hear 2 seconds of a song you hate, you turn it off. But you know what? The next time you're driving, you can't turn it off right away, but you hear like the beginning, like, fuck this. And then your friend sits in the car and they put the song on and you're like, well, they're my friends, so I'll let them listen to it. And then after a while, you know, the song comes on and you're like, I'll just listen to the song. It's called imprint marketing. It's an actual strategy, right? So those are things I learned in the entertainment industry and stuff like that, right? So smoking is imprint marketing.
So what you're
back in the day.
So what you're to understand what you're saying is that what you want is for the health industry for us to be more educated on health, and for the health industry to be more educated on health, which is also something that he spoke about. Because I only got that clip because I liked that clip.
No, I don't agree with that statement.
But if you listen to the whole hearing, he's pretty much saying that he wants to actually improve the education system on health, and the health industry itself needs to be better educated on nutrition.
I disagree with that statement.
With what statement?
What he said. They should be better educated. What really should happen is that we should be putting time and money into new procedures that limit long-term death or causality. So causality would be like, if I take this medicine, something will happen, right? But he's also saying if you just eat better, okay, this is the logical fallacy. He's saying if you eat better, you are healthy. Again, I ate very healthy. I got cancer. So there are too many variables involved in health for it to be like educating people to eat better isn't necessarily the solution. The real solution is finding...
Yeah, but it's part of the solution. Of course, it's not the solution, but it's part of it because you need to be educated on your health.
But he also doesn't agree with vaccines.
That's not true. Yeah, he does. All his kids are vaccinated. He's vaccinated. What he doesn't agree on is the fact that the federal government has given these vaccine manufacturers immunity. They've given themselves immunity. So if you are vaccine injured, you cannot sue these companies. That is wrong. Because at the end of the day, we paid for these vaccines. So if I'm injured from it, then I have a right to sue you.
All right, but that has nothing to do with
that is,
healthcare.
but that is what's happening though. Like
but again, that has nothing to do with healthcare.
Yeah, but you brought up. I'm bringing that up because you said that he's anti-vaccines, and that's an incorrect statement. He's not anti-vaccines. He's pro-vaccines, and he wants them to be effective. He doesn't want them to be like corrupted, and then everything's quick. That way, people can make money off of it. He wants effective
I believe
vaccines.
he started a company that was had something to do with it.
He started.
What's his name?
He started a company. Bernie Sanders brought it up. He's no longer a part of that company, and I think that company has a right to say what they want. But if you start a company,
right? If you start a company, and then at the same time, if you start a company, do you not believe in the company? And if you leave the company because you're trying to get a new position or you're trying to sell stocks in that company, does that mean you didn't? I don't understand the position.
I mean,
I don't understand what you're saying.
We can use that same position for Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders talks about he wants universal health insurance, but at the same time, of course, he wants that when he's making money off of out of pharmaceutical companies. I mean, not the manufacturer themselves or the CEOs, but it's individual donors giving them. It's one of the highest donors when it comes to big pharma. Right next to Warren, she's another one. I mean, I actually have a graph here about this. He made a lot of money every time he campaigns. So it's all, at the end of the day, it's all based off of money, and they don't want RFK to go in because they know that this guy is going to pretty much whatever the FTC is doing. Look at me, FTC. What is this agency called for FDA?
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is widely recognized for his anti-vaccine stance. He has been a prominent figure in the anti-vaccine movement.
And where are you reading it from? Probably a leftist media platform. Where are you reading it?
All right, fine. I won't read it. I am not
No.
going to
I want to know where you're getting it from.
Nor am I going to read any more information.
What are the sources?
Doesn't matter. I agree with you. You are right.
No. I want to know where the source is.
You're right.
Send it to me. I'm pretty sure it's left. Because only a left media platform would say that.
Fine. I'm going to say it is left, just to see where this goes.
No, is it? I'm asking you. Is it left?
Yeah, it's left.
Send me the link.
No, because then you'll see that it isn't left.
Okay, it isn't left. What media
I
platform
want
is
you
it?
to believe it is left, so we
No,
can
no,
have
no.
the
I want to know if it is or it isn't left. I'm assuming it is left. Is it
Okay,
left?
that's left. You're right. You're never wrong.
He's not against vaccines if he is
Correct.
giving himself
You are right.
vaccines.
I agree with you. In fact,
Just because
my brain was wrong,
okay, so
and
hold on,
I don't
hold
know
on.
why
So you're
I
saying
allowed it
because
to think
of
that.
what you read, that is
No, I didn't read it. What I read was wrong because it's from the internet. So you actually helped me realize my
there's
mistake.
leftist people and
I get
super
you.
right people on the internet.
Everything. Did you know the moon is owned by the left and they're just using it as a satellite to watch us?
I mean, they're saying there's people that say the moon is hollow. They're saying the moon is satellite. Some people say the moon is not even there.
It absolutely is
Whatever.
a satellite.
Point is,
Go ahead.
you read a statement. You're claiming it's not left.
No, I did, Mary. If you bring up the statement again, I'm going to sign off.
You're being so petty.
No, I'm just saying you told me it's left.
You're
so
being petty.
It's.
But you don't want to share that it is left.
No, I don't want to have a debate with you about stuff that you already agree with something. I don't have an opinion on it. I'm just
you did have an
using
opinion.
facts.
You literally said FDR is against vaccines, and then you cited something
That's
that
not
said
an
exactly
opinion, that's
that
a
to prove
fucking
your
fact.
narrative.
You are wrong.
Okay, sure. At the end of the day, he's not against vaccines.
All right, you're right. You're right, Mary. All right, what's the next
I mean, you
topic?
can literally look this up, guys. This is like, I don't even.
Yeah, look it up, guys. But you have to. But remember, Mary has to identify and okay the
No,
internet
you can literally
access.
look this up.
'Cause you got to remember, the Democrats are controlling Google, so you want to make sure that Mary either wrote it down on the internet, it's her website, or Donald Trump did it. Okay? And if they didn't, then you have to accept that what you're reading is incorrect because we're not able to put two and two together as human beings.
Let me read really quick what they're saying. Is Trump a liar? I go, yeah, I'm sure he's lied in the past. Yeah, but I'll take him over Kamala any day.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but it's
because
our job as adults. I
I would
mean,
too,
if I'm gonna
you know?
pick one, I'm gonna
about
pick
lying.
him over
Before
her.
I was saying it was because I didn't like someone because they lied. But it's really not about the lying. That's not really what the underlying truth is. You know, I just see. I want to have a reason not to like her and trust her, and because she lied, that's like why I don't really like Kamala because she's a lot. You know, she lied. I'm not saying she's a liar, but she lied, and that automatically cancels her out. I don't have trust in her. You know what I'm saying? And I know there are going to be people out there who are already fucking media. They're talking to the left media saying that Trump lies. There's like this weird thing they say he does occasionally, but he doesn't lie. He tells the truth in a way that weaves ideas together.
Okay,
and
okay,
he's
okay.
so
All right.
smart.
Okay,
that
hold on.
like it
Yeah,
doesn't
but
make
it's
any
our-
sense to even think he lies.
Okay, but it's our job as adults to have discernment and know more or less what's healthy and what isn't. Yes, you can have a predisposition for getting something, and depending on what's lifestyle choices, it could accelerate and force the gene to express itself sooner than later or stay dormant for you. He meant dormant. Yeah, we got you, Jose.
Doormat.
Confirmation bias. Okay. Did you vote?
I don't vote. I'm not
Okay,
American.
right, because you don't care. Yes.
No, I'm not American. You have to be American to vote. I believe so, right? You have to be a United States. Well, according to the whatever you again, you know, like I'm weird with
Weren't
this
you
stuff. Like,
born
I'll,
here?
I'll read like an article and it'll say like, you know, foreigners that like illegal immigrants somehow vote.
Weren't
So
you born here?
Maybe I can vote. Maybe I can vote.
Illegals cannot vote.
Can
unless they, I
illegals
mean, they
vote, right?
can once if they become naturalized after they've.
Yeah, but
came
if
here.
they're illegal and they're not naturalized, like they don't have a social security or identification or EIN.
Illegals do have Social Security.
Yeah, but I'm saying illegals do?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, now I'm going to change my view on it. So they can vote.
No, they cannot vote, but they do
they
get
can't
Social
vote.
Security. No.
So they do have Social Security, but they can't vote until they have a Social Security.
No. Just because you have Social Security doesn't mean you can vote.
Is that true?
Yes. You
Holy
can.
crap, how do you
can
vote then?
You can come here illegally, get your Social Security,
Like I
then
do.
get your workers permit.
I get a worker's permit.
And
And I
then
could vote
talk
with a
to
worker's permit?
go through the whole legal process, talk to a judge. If a judge agrees for you to be able to stay here, then you become a resident. That takes 2 to 5 years depending on where you came from. And then after you become a resident, then you have to wait. I believe it's another 2 years after becoming a resident, or is it 5 years? I don't remember which one it is. And then you can become a citizen. But just because you have a Social Security does not mean you're a citizen. It's two different.
I didn't say it made you a citizen. I asked you if you can vote if you have a Social Security, and you said no.
Well, no, you have to vote because it's not about Social Security. It's about whether you're an American citizen. That's why you.
So
vote.
illegals can't vote.
Correct, because they're not American citizens, but they have Social Securities.
So when people make the claim that illegals are coming here and voting on behalf of the Democrats, that's impossible then?
What I think they're saying is by you coming here, by you allowing people to come here illegally, meaning you're going against our immigration laws, by you doing that, you're so for the Supreme Court and the justice system, and as I am too, but maybe we have different approaches. You are coming here illegally. You're completely bypassing the system itself on how to assimilate into this country, right? And then what they're saying is by you bringing so many people in, it changes the electoral college per state. So, and then they get more representation depending on the population per state. That's what the right is saying on that. It's not, that we literally believe that illegals can come and just like, well, maybe in places that they don't have voter ID or ID, then maybe they can. But in Florida, for example, that wouldn't fly because you have to have your ID and and it connects to your actual voter registration or voter ID. I would prefer voter ID across the board, but whatever, that's just me.
Okay.
Okay, but why did you even break that up? I forgot why we even brought that up.
Because I said I don't vote.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, but you're American, so you just choose not to vote.
You think I'm American?
You were born here, weren't you?
Okay. Sure.
You
if you
were
say
born
so.
here?
Yeah. Let's
Did
say
you
I'm born
you
here.
were born here in Florida? Raised in Florida?
I was not born in Florida. That is, I would kill myself.
Okay. All right, where were you born? If you don't mind me asking.
Earth.
Well, yes, we all were,
Yeah, but not everyone believes that. They don't actually believe that. They believe they were born within a border and that lines dictate their nationality. I don't believe that.
Because you were born within a border. Okay, so what you're saying, okay, but what border in the earth?
I don't believe in borders,
born?
so I don't believe that I was born within a border.
Oh God. Okay, do you understand that right now you're living in a state that connects
I
to a
understand
country?
there are constructs that dictate certain things that are not necessarily true. They only exist because people utilize them as a way of law and control. But at the end of the day, if they wanted to.
So you don't believe in borders?
I do not believe in borders.
And how is that not a left approach? See how
because that has nothing to do with how would it be a left approach if I believe that the world should be working together as one?
Because you're saying that we shouldn't have security.
I didn't say that.
I mean,
when did I say
borders,
that?
That's what borders do. They secure.
Oh, they do?
Yes, that's the idea.
So you're secure right now?
Yes, because I'm within
great,
walls
great.
and
great. So no,
my
there
front
are
door is
no
locked.
illegal immigrants coming into America because the borders exist.
Well, wait, what? We're talking about.
Well, you said you're safe because you have borders. So.
I mean, I'm safe because my home is locked. That's my
Oh,
border.
it's locked. So you're using a wall as a border. We're not talking about actual borders.
I mean, you brought it to me like I'm like one little tiny person. If you want to go back to the macro instead of the micro, then let's talk about the actual border of the country. You're saying that you don't believe in countries having borders. And
Yeah,
I'm
I
saying that
believe
is a
in the
leftist
border
approach.
around me,
And you're
like the
saying, how is that
perimeter.
leftist? I wanted you to explain to me how that's not a leftist approach to not
Because-
wanting borders within a country.
Well, I don't know how to really explain it to you because everything I say is wrong.
No,
But
it's not wrong. I'm just telling you like
would
that
have
is a
to
leftist approach.
For me to explain it to you, I would first have to know what you believe a leftist is, and not
that is
they
a leftist.
believe in
okay,
something.
Okay,
Like I would need a definition.
My perspective of a leftist approach would be what you just said.
But you
No
said it has to
borders.
do with security, and I said that has nothing to do with what I said. I said that people should be working together as one people, as Earthlings, like we should be helping one another. And you said I don't want security or something like
Okay,
that.
but
So that
how does
you
that
left-
have to do with having a border? Like, what is that? Why can't America
That's what
help
you
each
said,
other?
Harry. You said I'm a leftist because I don't believe in the security of the borders.
No,
And
I said
that's
you're a
not what I
leftist because you
said.
don't believe in borders. That's
Me
what I
not
said.
believing in borders has nothing to do with being a leftist. And then you said,
Yes, it does.
okay,
Leftists don't believe in. They don't think there should be boundaries. They think that
Why?
they think there should be limits. That's why leftists are more pro-government, because more oversee, more control, versus
you're
the
saying-
right is more like
You're saying that
individual
you
and privacy and
believe that
security.
leftists want to see the borders dissolved.
I'm saying it's a more left-leaning approach by you saying that you don't agree with borders because you believe it has something to do with security and we should care about each other. And I love the kumbaya, but at the end of the day, like, Mexican culture is not American culture. That's why there's a border.
But I don't believe in Mexican or American government.
But they are different. Like, you can't deny that. That is, they're intrinsically not like, they're just different. You can't compare one to the other.
All right.
It's just like Canada. But with your logic, then we should just like eat Mexico and Canada. We just all become one big country.
I don't think we should be a one big country. I think we should be Earth that has cultural regions, if one might agree with that. But at the same time, I think that we are a people that have culture, but I don't think borders should determine our segregation. And really, not believing in borders is not inherently a leftist position. It really depends on the beliefs you hold when it comes to the lack of borders. And that would come into free markets and global cooperation and equality and like all these other
You're
things.
assuming that other countries like are so welcoming, you know? Like, we have borders because everybody
Well, that's why we
is
can't have this
different.
debate, Mary, because you
But
are
it's
basing
it's
everything
wishful
off
thinking
of
to
what
even have
your
to have that
biases of
perspective.
countries.
Like,
And I have a philosophy of hope, right? So
that's not hope.
I know
That's
there
delusion.
are borders.
It's delusional to think that the Mideast can be connected to Europe. Like, they're totally different, you know? Like, they don't even believe in the same thing. And you're saying that we should all just like coexist. And who's going to be governing this? The World Health Organization? The United Nations? Like, who's going to be controlling this kumbaya,
Why
we
is it
are one
kumbaya?
moment? So I think you're for the one world government shit, huh? You want
what?
that shit. You
The
told
what?
me. You want that
One
shit.
world nation?
No, you want that one world government.
No.
That is what you. How are we going to control things? So you're saying no government?
I didn't say that.
Okay, what is it? What does it mean
You keep
to
saying
not
a lot
want
of things.
borders? Because I'm trying to figure this out. Like, how is
Mary,
this
we
not a
can't have this
leftist mentality?
conversation. It's abstract thinking. It's too complex.
Break it down for me. How is it not left to not want borders? And then you're saying that you don't want a world
All right.
government.
First of all, if you keep saying it's left, I'm not going to have the debate with you because you're trying to get
you're
me
saying
to say
it's not
it
centered
is
either.
left.
I mean, you're saying it's centered, is what you're saying.
I'm not a centrist.
That's right. You said that already. Okay, you're nothing. You don't care.
No, it's not that I don't care.
You're freaking plasma. You're everywhere, nowhere, omnipotent.
I am too nuanced to be one thing.
Jesus.
And if anyone is all the way to the side, they become partisan or bipartisan, depending on their position. They become erratic or extreme, right? And I'm not. I'm nuanced. And it's not that I'm in the center, because some things I'm all the way to the left or all the way to the right.
Yeah,
On
you're
some
freaking
things, I am
plasma.
in the
You're like,
whatever you say I am, I'm fucking that. I don't give a shit, really. Because I cannot debate, or if I tell you what I am and you say I am not,
libertarian? I'm just
That's-
reading what they're saying.
like if I tell you
We're all
I'm not
trying to
fucking
figure you
white
out,
and
Thomas.
you tell me I'm white, then I'm like, why am I talking?
You're a white Sicilian man.
I am not white. I am pale skin.
Oh my
but I
God,
am not a white
guy,
person.
this guy. And what is that, Thomas? That is white.
All right, so based on your logic, and this is how
Shit,
our
I'm
brain's
white,
different.
and I have more melanin than you do. Doesn't mean I'm not white.
This is you're not white.
All right, okay. What am I then if I'm not white?
First of all, you're from Africa.
I'm not from Africa.
Okay, where did people originate from?
I mean, everywhere. I mean, technically, everybody
Okay,
originated
they're fine.
from
They
Africa. if you
fucking
wanna get
sprouted out of
freaking-
flowers in every
We
part of the
came from
country,
the
including
stars,
Antarctica.
bro. The stars. We're children of the stars.
Yeah, that's right. Because we're not using science anymore. I got it.
What do they call it? Star seeds.
Stardust. We're
There
made of
you
stars.
go. You see, even you know what I'm talking about. You're trying
Because
to
that is the science part, but you don't understand it enough for it to be interesting.
Oh God, I'm making it interesting. Nobody looks into any of that crap. Nobody normal, at least, not normal people. Do you travel or drive? When are you in a moving vehicle? What?
He wants to know if I have a driver's license. Or do I cross borders, or do I go past state lines? It's not that I don't believe they exist. I'm not a fucking moron. I know they exist, but I have a personal philosophy that allows me to stand outside of what reality is. Just like Mary Truth, somehow, I don't know why, believes that the earth is flat.
I don't believe the earth is flat, but I don't.
Oh, so it's round? You don't know.
I'm in the nuance. I'm in the nuance. It can be either or. We don't know. You know what I'm saying?
But the difference between her and me is I know there are borders. I just personally choose not to believe in it. She has no idea that the earth is round, but she doesn't have enough proof to believe it.
Correction. They say the earth is round. I can choose to believe it, or I can be like, all right, I don't really care. I really don't care whether it's round or flat or oval. I really don't give a shit. That's where I'm nuanced.
Do you think space goes beyond our reach, or is space just like a fucking thing that's around the earth?
I think it's like endless.
Endless, right?
It's freaking
You believe in the
infinite.
Big Bang Theory?
I was debunked recently, wasn't it? I think it was last year they debunked it or something.
Fine. It was debunked.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
Yeah, whatever you say. Yeah, it has to be true because you don't read from anything but
we can
the
look it
correct
up,
website.
but I'm just telling you what I remember.
only
But I
read-
recall them
you
saying
only
something
read
about that.
information from correct websites. So
Oh no!
anything you
because
say has to be
what you read earlier was a correct website because that was
It is
100%
obtuse,
truth
Jose. You
and
are
fact
correct.
because you read it and that's what makes it truth and fact.
I didn't say.
You know?
Look, as soon as you said it was a leftist, I decided to stop reading it. Because you're right.
also
Why
decided
am
not
I
to say
why
it,
am I
so-
allowing myself to look at multiple sources and then coming to my own conclusion? That would be weird.
All right, let's look it up. Was the Big Bang debunked? Let's look it up. I don't remember.
You gotta send me the link, and then I gotta verify the URL.
I'm using ChatGPT, bro. Don't worry about it.
All right, whatever.
Okay, here we go. Give it a moment. It's giving me all this information that we need
Yeah,
to
it's too
know.
many words. Just make up stuff.
I'm not making it up. This is ChatGPT. The Big Bang
No, I'm
Theory
saying
has
there's
not
too many
been
words. Just make
Look,
up
it has
stuff.
not been debunked, but it has been refined over time with new discoveries and alternative models. The Big Bang remains the leading scientific explanation for the origin of the universe, supported by
So does that make you wrong with what
extensive
you said?
evidence, including I said
Does that
I
make
think
you
it
wrong
was
with what you said?
yes, because I said I think it was debunked, and then I'm like, let's look it up.
So
Let's
that makes
fact
you
check
wrong,
it.
right? Now,
Yes.
when I
Now,
said that,
oh, sorry, I wasn't gonna continue, but you asked me if I agree with it, and I mean, honestly, I don't. I really don't care. I believe that God is real, and that God existed all things living.
makes sense.
And it makes
He
things a
farted
lot
and people
easier than giving a shit about any of this crap. To be honest
I know.
with you.
Fuck science.
I mean, I love science when it comes to like things that I could
long as
actually
it's
control,
delicious.
like my health, not something like this that I can't control any of this. So it's like, who cares?
You
I
can't
rather
control
just,
light.
I just rather believe in a God than
You
believe
can't
in this
control
crap.
evolution?
You can control evolution.
Of course you can. So that's science.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree that you can change over time. You can devolve or evolve, you know.
I know people can devolve.
You know, that's a thing. Yeah, I know. I've seen people evolve and devolve too. So, but like, it's just, do I agree with the Big Bang Theory? That was your initial question. I'm telling you, sure. Sure. I really don't care, but sure. Gotta see DeepSeek now. Oh, gotta use DeepSeek now. Fuck that. I'm not using DeepSeek. I'm sticking to my chat. Big Bang and God said, let there be light. Yeah, man. Who knows? God created the Big Bang? Who knows? Maybe AI will help us figure that out.
By the way, the moment you say that I don't believe in order or government, that's not a leftist leaning. That's anarchist. Just so you know.
True. It is anarchist.
Yeah, but you kept saying it was a leftist position. But again, that's me saying it, so I'm probably 100% wrong because I have read it in numerous books. And
Okay,
I've
so
put
you're
together...
saying you're an anarchist.
No, I'm saying your fucking bullshit that you said was wrong.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. You said it was a leftist. And I'm saying it can't be because... But you're also saying I don't believe in government or order. And
I mean, aren't the leftist
you don't know what you're
people-
talking about. Just let's
aren't
go.
the
Let's just stay
leftist-
on the topics.
No. I'm telling you what I've seen. The leftists
All right,
are the
fine.
ones
What
that
you've
are
seen is the
saying, wasn't it a couple years ago they were saying how we need to defund the police? Isn't that an anarchist approach?
If you're saying it is, then yeah, it has to be.
I'm asking you a question.
Don't ask me. I don't know. I'd have to use my knowledge, and we already proved that what I know is wrong.
That is what I want you to do. I want you to use your knowledge. Yes.
You don't want my knowledge.
Yes, I do. I think that if the left party is saying let's defund the police, then I think it's reasonable to believe that is a little anarchist. So anarchy is kind of left leaning. That's just me.
That makes sense. I agree with you.
I feel like you're full of shit right now. All right, let's continue on with fair trade. I want to talk to you about that. If you have anything to say, because you're so nuanced. I don't know. We're gonna see if you have anything to say about this. We're gonna find out. Okay.
We may have short-term a little pain, and people understand that. But long-term, the United States has been ripped off by virtually every country in the world. We have deficits with almost every country. Not every country, but almost. And we're going to change it. It's been unfair. That's why we owe $36 trillion. I'm speaking with Prime Minister Trudeau tomorrow morning, and I'm also speaking with Mexico tomorrow morning. And I don't expect anything very dramatic. We put tariffs on. They owe us a lot of money, and I'm sure they're going to pay.
All right. I'm sure they're going to pay. And then really quick, I wanted to show this one.
Nissan's going to be doing something very exciting about U.S. Steel. They'll be looking at an investment rather than a purchase. We didn't like the idea. U.S. Steel is a very important company to us. It was the greatest company in the world for 15 years, many years ago, 80 years ago. And we didn't want to see that leave. And it wouldn't actually leave, but the concept, psychologically not good. So they've agreed to invest heavily in U.S. Steel as opposed to own it. And that sounds very exciting. And we're going to meet with Nissan next week, the head of Nissan, very great company, and they'll work out the details. I'll help. I'll be there to mediate and arbitrate.
All right. Cool beans. Cool beans. All right. Let's get you back on here. All right. So this guy is pretty much okay. So I like what he's doing with the U.S. Steel thing. I thought that was cool. I what are your thoughts on the whole tariff thing? A lot of people are not happy with the tariff thing. They're saying that it's going to increase goods and services. I've heard other people say that it really just depends on who's getting the higher tariffs, and that maybe it might not even increase their goods and services if to compete in the market with other companies. I think it's just a tactic. I don't think it's a for real thing. And if he's gonna do it, maybe it'll be temporary. But what do you think?
Based on what you just said, or based on what we just watched?
No, I gave you my perspective on what we just saw, and I'll just give you what's yours.
I think it's all weird.
Okay, why is it weird?
Because he was talking, but I couldn't hear his voice or anything. And I'm just watching it. Like why doesn't he talk when the video is playing? It just looked like he was just mouthing shit.
Are you being serious? Nothing... You couldn't hear the video?
Well, I had it on mute.
This guy, bro. Well, that's probably why you couldn't hear it, because you had it on mute.
Oh yeah. Well, what do you want me to respond to?
You can't put it on mute if you to understand what's going on. You have to unmute it.
I don't understand what's going on.
Well, yeah, because you've muted it. That's why you don't understand.
Well, that and I don't have any information because I had to delete anything I've ever read, because my knowledge is based on listening and hearing and comprehension and reading and all these other things. But it's all been debunked by
what do you mean?
The reality that nothing really is right unless you verify the textbooks I read and the conversations I've had.
What are you talking about? Okay, you're saying that when you were reading that article before about how RFK is against vaccines, that you erased everything you had.
Well, yeah, because I know that I can't present any information
Jesus
because
Christ.
Mary Truth must verify
else.
all knowledge before she will even accept it to be accurate or somewhat semblance of knowledge.
You are something else. You know that? You're something else. Okay, so, I mean, that was your choice. You decided to do that.
But the mute, I already know what it said. I already watched that video
all the information that you had to counteract what I had because of what I said, that it was a leftist outlet, even though you never showed what it was. Whatever. Point is, what is your perspective on this? Fair trade and tariffs. Do you think tariffs will actually, do you think it's a bad thing? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you not care? Even if you don't care, what do you think?
Are you asking me what I feel about them, or are you asking me to actually give you an intelligent answer? Because they are not the same.
I'm asking you what you think.
What I think? What do I care?
Okay.
The prices are going to go up because of it. I don't really spend a lot. I'm wealthy, so I don't really have to worry about money. I'm not a poor person.
But why do you think the media is saying that it's going to? Because the media is saying that it's going to increase.
I don't
goods
understand
and services.
I don't. You're asking me to try to. Are you asking me to logically approach this? Or are you asking me my opinion?
Let's hear both. What's your logical approach, and then let's hear your opinion.
All right. Well, logically, it's impossible for any human being to utilize the ability to telepathically link themselves to the motivations of others without having a direct conversation where we both believe and also understand or comprehend what is being discussed. So I cannot logically answer your question, why do the media, and I think you're saying left media, right? You're not necessarily talking about the media in general, right? You're right. Am I right on that? I'm just looking for clarification.
Well, when you look up media that is giving a negative perspective, I'm answering your question. When you look up media that are giving a negative perspective on tariffs, it is a left media platform.
So, since you didn't answer my question,
I did answer.
When you're saying media, are you saying the left media, or are you saying the media in general?
The left media is the one making it a negative.
All right, well, you got to say that, okay? Because
I think I did say that, but okay.
No, you said the media.
Okay, but then I clarified by saying the left media.
I don't know what they're thinking logically. It's impossible.
Okay, I'm not asking you to tell me what they're thinking. I know that.
You asked me. You wanted you wanted logical and my opinion.
Your logical response was a no answer response because you're claiming that because
No,
you're not
because
them, you can't answer the question. And then now I
How-
want to know
how
your
do you
opinion
know-
about it.
How do you know their motivations?
I'm telling you, the left
Okay,
is the one giving a
all right,
negative
so it's
perspective
based on what you
on it.
believe. All right, so you tell me what the media believes, and then I'll just agree with
I'm
it.
not telling you what the media believes. I'm telling you that the way they're reporting the tariffs is on a negative. It's in a negative light.
If you asked why,
Yes. Why do you think
how
that?
do I know?
You can't
I'm not a part of
you
the
can't
media.
like come up with a conclusion. Like you're a logical person. I would assume you can come up with a conclusion.
Your question is not permitting me to have a logical answer.
Why? I'm giving you a reasonable answer.
Not.
I think
No,
that
you're not.
they
You're
don't.
giving me an emotional answer.
How is that emotional? How's that emotional? Other people have said, people that know more, way more, significantly more than I'll ever know probably, have said the opposite of what these leftist medias have said. So then I have a reason to believe. Why are they doing that? Why can't they
That's
just
not
be
a reason
like
to believe.
centered?
That's a question.
Why can't they
Mary.
just
Why?
give a perspective instead of just fucking do like I can do what I'm doing right now. I can fucking say this is what's happening and this is what I think and give a biased approach because I'm independent. They cannot do that. They are not independent. Like they're supposedly independent, but they're not acting independent. Does that make sense?
No.
All right. Okay, fine.
You want my non-logical answer, like where it's
Yes,
just my
yes, yes. Non-logical, please.
Oh, all right. Well, look, he can do whatever he wants. I'm wealthy. It doesn't affect me.
Okay. Last one. Drag shows. And then we're going to cut it here because I went way over my time. But really quick, we're just going to cut it here. Hold on. Where is it?
I wish you'd ask the questions differently.
I did ask the question. You just don't want to answer it, but it's
No,
fine.
ask the question. Do you not listen to me?
I am listening to you.
I feel like you never listen. But I know that sometimes you do. But I said, I wish you would ask the questions differently. And then you said, I did ask the question. Meaning, not only did you not respond to differently, you just ignored. Never mind, it doesn't matter. I think the question you wanted to ask was, do you think the tariffs will actually increase the rates? But you cared more about the fucking media that I don't give a shit about.
Okay.
Because you already have a hatred towards the left side of the media.
I don't have any hatred towards them, but
You have a bias because you believe they are wrong.
Well, I mean, they've been wrong for some
But
time
the right
now.
has never, ever
That's not
been
what I
wrong.
said. That's not what I said. I said that
But
the
then why do
left has
you-
been wrong for some time.
But you believe the right.
I believe the right now is on the right track compared to the left.
But
That's
because
what
the left has been wrong, they have to be wrong continuously. But because you believe in the right now, they can't be wrong because it's where you want them to be.
No, it's just I agree with the right. I don't agree with the left,
course
and I
you
don't
agree,
agree with the
which
left
makes
because
Mary,
of what they've done
Mary,
and what they've said and how
stop.
they've approached things.
Stop.
And I have a
Stop.
right to
Stop.
agree with the right
Please
versus
stop.
the left because of what the left
Stop.
has said and done.
For the love of God, please stop.
We're actually we're not gonna do the drag show thing because I've already gone past my time. But yeah, what were you gonna say?
Listen, the biggest problem that I'm having right now with this entire debacle is that I either don't understand the words I am using or you don't understand the words I am using. Do you understand? Because I just said you had a biased opinion and you said no. And then your entire explanation
I
was
do have a
based
biased
on
opinion.
biased
I
opinion.
said that I had a biased opinion. I literally said earlier, because I'm an independent, I have a right to have a biased opinion versus a news outlet that's enormous and should not have a biased opinion. And my
You're
question
now
is,
answering a
why do
completely
they have a
different
biased
topic
opinion?
that I was not making a statement on.
Okay, okay. You're saying that I'm not saying I'm biased, and I'm saying I am saying I'm biased. I'm admitting that I am biased.
That is not. That is not what I said. You decided to go back to when I said that the bias thing about left and right. But I'm saying that I can't have an opinion on the left media because you have a bias towards the left media. This has nothing to do with your independent biased opinion. you have a biased opinion of the left. And then you said, no, you don't. And then you went on to explain how you don't, and your entire explanation was a biased opinion. It was proving that you have a biased opinion
Jesus
against
Christ.
the left.
Why does it take you so long to come up with a conclusion? Okay, fine.
I'm just saying you're not.
Holy
you're,
shit! Like
you're arguing
so long
with me
just to get to a fucking point. But okay, fine. Yes, I don't agree with like most of what the left says. So yes, I am biased towards
Why couldn't
the left.
you just say that before?
Jesus Christ. I know
like,
I
I'm not
did, but
biased.
okay, fine. If I didn't say it, I apologize. I should have said it. I'm saying it now. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sorry to those who believe in Christianity and I just cursed and said.
Just say,
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. It'll be
But
fine.
yeah, okay, yes.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. All right, so we've gone way over our time as I should have done this earlier. Okay, so closing statements. Thomas, I love you. You're awesome.
I love you too. I'm glad we were able
Yeah,
to do
we
this.
don't hate each other, guys. This is us all the time, by the way. This is us, through DMs. That's how we are, So this is just us showing you how we are to each other all the time.
There's more feet pics in our DMs. But she tells me to stop sending them. She's like, I think you have a heart problem. Look at those feet. They're so swollen.
My feet are swollen. That's because I run too much.
You should eat beet juice. That'll help you.
Beet juice? I used to say beet juice too, but then you end up poop. All right, I'm going to stop. We're going to end it here. Guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Married Truth Talks and MTT. Follow Thomas J. Bellezza on Instagram. If you love the way he thinks, I know I do. That's why I've endured him as he endures me all this time. And we're going to continue enduring each other. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me and going through this, whatever this was. And I do want another one. And they should be earlier. Much earlier. That way I'm not pressed
I'm going to
for
have to take Tylenol beforehand.
Well, now you know what to expect, Thomas. Now you know what to expect. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, follow us, and we will see you guys next time.